everybody. My name is Frankie McDonald. You're watching the SimpCast with Chrissie Mayr on every Sunday nights. See you then.
All right, guys. I've been more excited for this podcast than many of my other ones. This would be pretty epic, if I might say so myself. This is my first ever. We're calling it the SimpCast because there's gonna be a lot of simping going on. A lot of these gals, you may know them, you may love them, you may have, who knows, quietly jerked off to them. No judges. We're not, do what you will. I'm gonna introduce them one by one, and we're just gonna chat about things and
If you showed a little more cleavage, you might have had more viewership, but best of luck. I hope you have 100 more mildly funny and entertaining episodes of SimpCast.
Hi, this is Stuttering John Melendez, and I want to say congratulations to Chrissie Mayr for her 100th SimpCast. Yeah, Chrissie, we go back a ways, and fuck you for fucking asking me if I dabbled in stand-up comedy. Now I got a whole Dabbles Anonymous because of you. You have a great 100th show. God bless you.
Thank you, chat. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the comments. We love you guys so much. We appreciate you. Thank you, girls. This was fantastic.
This
love
is
you
so
guys.
fun. Thank you.
We'll do it again sometime. All right. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, that was from the first episode. Welcome to SimpCast episode 100. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm here as a pregnant woman. Wow. Who's going to simp for me now? Okay, just fucking around. Before I bring in our fabulous panel, I have a couple of stand-up shows to promote before I push a human being out of my body. I'll be in Tampa headlining the Side Splitters Comedy Club Sunday, December 3rd. Get your tickets now. Then I'm doing a weekend in San Diego, Friday, January 5th and Saturday, January 6th at the Mic Drop Comedy Club. Go to my website, ChrissieMayr.com for tickets. I'm going to try to squeeze in maybe another Texas trip. I'm going to try to just get around as much as I can this fine, beautiful country of ours that's slowly being invaded. But we're going to keep it upbeat tonight, right? Get your tickets now. Go to ChrissieMayr.com. Please and thank you. We got just an all-star lineup of people tonight. People will be coming and going. It's just going to be a bacchanal. So without further ado, I'm just going to bring everybody in. The lovely Ann Coulter, the lovely Gavin McInnes, the lovely Melonie Mac, Josie, that redheaded libertarian, and oh my God, from the OG episode of SimpCast, Anna, that Star Wars girl. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I feel like Gavin is in a little bit of an ISIS bunker, but he told us in the pre-show chat that this is his man cave,
which he built for his children.
Yeah, it's 4x6.
So it's little. It's just you and the Christmas decorations back there.
Yeah.
Gavin's just you're casually reading Mad Magazine with no shirt. As long as that's the only thing we see this show. A lot of people were concerned you might take out a body part, but I assured everyone, well, I can't assure anyone that won't happen, but I hope that you don't.
Oh, no.
We had a little bit of a pre-show chat going on, and it was interesting because Gavin, you had a little bit of a rant recently on censored TV, and you were asking Anne her thoughts on why so many immigrants are being let into this country. And I know this is like a bit serious for SimpCast, but I think you had an interesting theory, and that I've heard a lot of other people mention, and that is, are they just building an army? Because we're seeing a lot of military-age men, not a lot of families coming through. It doesn't look like a lot of folks just here to pursue the American dream. So
Yeah. I think there's two options. One is they are going to be the security guards that tell us to put on our masks and shut up and stop criticizing the president and arrest us like they do in Britain and Canada. That's option one. And we've seen that if you talk to anyone who's been in jail in DC, it's all Africans. All the corrections officers in DC jails are Africans. And I think it's because they're less sympathetic. And they're just like, you need to go back to your cell or it is voodoo. And then the other option is much more daunting. And that is we're looking for fodder for World War III. And we're going to just sort of throw this human garbage at the problem when we are at war with the Middle East, China, Russia, everyone. If this Israeli conflict exacerbates or the Ukrainian war exacerbates. So I'm not a big fan of either scenario.
well, they do have that certain quality about them. I just keep thinking of that clip where the guy's saying, "Look at me, I am the captain now."
I am the captain now.
Can I comment on that?
Please.
I think they're both too optimistic in a way, or too complicated. I mean, we've never had a land invasion in the United States before. It's a great thing about our country. We're oceans away from the countries we go to war with. I mean, even Hitler couldn't land anyone in the United States. This is an invasion. This is how countries dissolve and are no longer those countries anymore. Other people move in and dominate them, and it's just a matter of numbers. And they just keep coming and coming. And the Biden administration wants them to keep coming. And I was mentioning this Mayorkas hearing. He's the head of Homeland Security, and he's the one who's ushering them all in as fast as you can get them in, with no concern for just this hideous child labor and human smuggling. You probably saw there's an article in the New York Times, I don't know, they've brought in, they've lost track of almost 100,000 children they've brought in. And they're turning up, according to this New York Times investigation, they're turning up at meat packing plants and cereal manufacturers are working all night shifts, and their little finger is getting caught in the machines. And the government doesn't know, doesn't care. Just move them in, And that's the end of America.
I mean, it was fun when they were just making sneakers and phones for us, but now...
Well, they were making them in China. Now they're making them here, but it's not America anymore. And especially as we've seen recently, I'm glad liberals are finally noticing. I mean, this is an all-out war of the civilized against the uncivilized, as we've seen since October 7th. And in our own streets, BLM just merges effortlessly right into the pro-Hamas. Yes, wipe out Israel, genocide for Israelis, kill the Jews. In a way, I guess it's worse in Europe, but we have more of every kind of third worlder. And no, I mean, the only countries going elsewhere where Western values have triumphed are where British people went elsewhere, when Britain sent people to America and Canada and Australia. Never really works otherwise. So yeah, we'll lose our entire Western civilization, which is just stunning in its accomplishments, and we will be a third world country until there's no more reason to move here, because we'll be no different from any other country.
But Anne, I get that they're trying to wreck America, and that would make sense if it was just like a bunch of families from Guatemala and Mexico. But why is it 18 to 25 fighting men, men ready to go to war, and they're from Sri Lanka, Somalia,
Senegal, heavily Senegal.
Like, what? It seems like this weird variety of age-ready men. I mean, war-ready men.
It's true, but I think they are just the invading force. Men are more likely to get up and walk through 6 countries. They're walking through 6 countries, which among the many ways the Biden administration is completely 100% violating written law by Congress, signed into law by president after president. For one thing, they're all supposed to be detained. It's very clearly so into the law. And when they pass through other countries where they could, in theory, be safe from the alleged persecution they're fleeing, and none of them are fleeing persecution, not one. They're all fakes. All of their asylum cases would lose. But even if they had a legit asylum case, they passed through 6 countries to get here. And those are the ones coming from...
Yeah, I guess you're going to get a lot of kids doing that.
Those are the ones coming from Venezuela, the ones coming from Senegal. If you have safe passage to another country, as long as that country's laws don't say, no, you absolutely can't stay here. And they don't. They all want to be, we're a sanctuary country, so they can, sort of insult the United States. Oh, you're so mean. We'll let them stay. Well, okay, under our law, they have.
Here, Ann, let's talk about something important. Is Ron DeSantis using lifters in his boots? Do you think is he really? Come on, I know you're a fashionista.
You know what that reminds me of? You young pups are too young to remember this. I can barely remember this. But I remember when I was in high school and Ronald Reagan was running, they made a really big deal about whether he dyed his hair. And
whether he dyed his hair, really?
Even as a 14-year-old, I thought, if that's your biggest complaint, I think he's doing pretty well.
And do you think all the Senegalese people are coming here just to win the marathon, basically? And just take all the spots, take all the places? That's my
They're
theory.
winning those anyway.
I think we need more good football talent. Like, we've lost so many incredible quarterbacks. Like, there's no more, you don't have your Tom Brady's, your Peyton Mannings, any of that. So we're outsourcing talent for the NFL. That's it.
The great white
Gavin,
quarterbacks of our time.
Are you in a sex dungeon? Where are you, Gavin? Where are you?
I'm in my kid's fort.
Is that an eyes wide shut zone so you don't do occultic sexual rituals in that room?
This looks so sus.
It kind of reminds me of that movie, the Flies, Silence of the Lambs. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he's like in a well.
Oh,
Yeah.
or that
that
Cloverfield Lane.
Or it's like that movie Parasite, where you're some type of Asian hiding under a house.
This thing cost me $4,000, by the way.
The crawl space?
The wood.
The fort?
Yeah, you should see it. Here, I'll show you.
What's above you?
It's probably because of how expensive lumber is right now.
Yeah, that was part of it, and then just the lack of qualified contractors these days. Like, if you want something done, you
need an illegal immigrant from Venezuela. They do it the best. I mean, come on, Ann. Hey, you know what's funny? I'm against all this immigration crap, but let's be real. I mean, they want as many immigrants as possible because it's a great reset. You know that, Ann. You know they're going to keep bringing people here so that they, have more voting power. You know that's a gimmick.
Yes, but it won't even. The voting won't even matter. The country is so done.
I'm so depressed.
And the fact that you can't get a good contract. I mean, this does remind me one of the evil things that the government and particularly the Democratic Party is doing to Americans is they keep encouraging all these young people to go to college. It's an investment in your future. I mean, it's like they're selling, those worthless mortgages back from 10 years ago. No, kids are going to college, running up $200,000 in debt, ridiculous degrees. I mean, unless it's a science degree, or you have the money and you want to spend it on a history degree or a philosophy degree or English degree, but that isn't going to make you money. What we need is more people going into construction and plumbing and electricians. Yeah. And those guys make a lot of money, way more than you're going to make being a genetics major.
Well,
we learned this from the South Park episode that just came out. The Panda.
Yeah, and it's a scam. It's the only loan that you can't default on. I mean, it's the only loan that you can declare bankruptcy and you're still liable for it. So that's how you know it's a scam.
Yes, and the people, the debtor, the colleges don't have to.
College thing
you never have to
it's
pay.
A boomer thing.
I went to college. I became a transgender lesbian really quick. So I'm
Hold on, Gavin, don't be upset that we didn't acknowledge your fort. It was very impressive.
Yeah, Anne was talking about going to college, and as you're touring it, and it reminded me of like a dorm room. As she's
it does.
And you're showing like the bed, and she's the kids are going to college, and you're like, here's the bed, and it's really dorm room.
The whole popularity of college with millennials is based on a typo. It's boomers going, okay, there was rich people in the 70s and poor people. All the rich people went to college. Ergo, college makes you rich. And only 5% back with the boomers, my parents' generation, only 5% went to college. So they went, okay, there's something magic in college that makes you rich.
True.
So everyone should have the opportunity to get that magic rich powder. And you're like, no, dude, it's 5% of the population is super smart. It's like that whole classical music with babies thing, Bach for babies or whatever it was, Beethoven babies CDs. And they go, kids who listen to classical music like babies, they end up like being more successful. And it must be the classical music. No, dude, their parents care about them and do stuff. Asian. They also had like the perfect. Yeah, or it's genetic. So the idea that college makes you rich is based on the assumption that genetics don't exist. And I'm sorry, but those people who went to college in the boomer generation would have been successful if you kicked them out of an airplane over Costa Rica. They would have had a coconut stand in 5 days, and they would have set up an Airbnb in 20 days, and they'd all be rich. So people should not go to college. You're not smart enough. If it's not STEM, then go to Amazon. Like, I took English literature. I took like Dickens and all that shit. I could have just bought it on Amazon. It was a total waste of money. I'm a retard. I should have done what all retards should do, which is just buy the books for $1 used on Amazon.
Well, they used to say community college is a daycare for potheads, but now all colleges are just a daycare for alcoholics and potheads. That's all it is.
That is the truest thing that's ever been said. That should be written in the sky. God should write that in the sky. Because we're talking about billions of dollars spent on the myth that college makes you rich and successful. It's a fucking lie.
And that was my mother's threat to me. She said if I didn't do well in school, she'd pull me out and send me to Nassau Community. That was like the threat for 4 years straight. And same thing, like she had that typical boomer mentality where college equals you're going to be rich. And she was a secretary, went to secretarial school, and she thought, I want this for all 3 of my kids. And whoops, well, I majored in communications.
Glasses make you rich. I'm sure people with glasses tend to have more money than people without glasses. So now we're giving glasses to everyone in the world, assuming that they're this magic eye lens. No, dude.
And
nerds,
how do you think OnlyFans is going to affect young girls going to college, knowing that at 18 years old they can share their vagina and make $100,000 a year?
They add a link to their college application.
Well, obviously, it's very, very, very bad. But I'm so happy that Chrissie is pregnant now, and she won't be able to go blue so much. So this is going to be a totally
clean, and my whole stand-up set is so wholesome now. Like, I have pregnant jokes. I'm a different person. I don't know what's happening.
I was just talking to a friend of mine from Hollywood, and talking about so many female comedians in particular going blue because you can't tell jokes about anything else without risking getting canceled. And he said, that's the problem with so many female comedians. It's like, hey, honey, want to go out, have a few drinks and watch a pap smear? Because they're all talking about their vaginas all night.
You should watch Gavin. Gavin has 25 minutes about the Holocaust. That'll make you really question some stuff. So.
Oh, yes. We've done shows with him. I think women fall into that stereotype because they say, talk about what you know, and women are very attuned to their relationships. I think a lot of women start stand up in their 20s where they're very focused on getting a boyfriend or finding a husband. And I think that's just what they are thinking about most. And that's what they end up talking about most on stage. But
hey, wait, Chrissie, what do you think about Karen Feehan? I became friends with Karen Feehan, but so I went up and I did comedy before Sam Hyde and all these people. I actually did really well, surprisingly. I only did 10 minutes.
Are you talking about the fight?
Well, I'm talking before the fight, they had a comedy show. And so I did that. And Karen Feehan made a joke after I went up. She goes, Alex Stein had 4 funny jokes, and the rest of the time he was sweating. But I actually did well. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. My point is, then she went on to proceed to just talk about her butthole for 15 minutes. And I'm not hating on Karen. I would have told her this, but she's like, I make $1 million on OnlyFans. I don't deal with you pores. I mean, I think that is one of the worst cultural rots that we have is now every girl can sell their vagina for $4.99. And I think that's affecting the dating pool. I think that's affecting people's self-esteem, or they have to be more extreme. Like, I think that's one of the biggest plagues on society.
It is. Great. And you also have to blame the fact that there's actually a market for it. Because if
of course, guys are horny.
If you guys stop paying for that stuff, it'd go away. So it's both their faults.
And Melonie, but let's be real. I know there's a huge wage gap between men and women on OnlyFans, but girls are just as horny, so they like showing their vagina too. There's some weird kink in that.
Well, I think the amount that actually enjoy that I think are a lot fewer than they let on. I think it's probably I mean, it has to be very degrading, and it has to be, and the money is the motivation. Because if it was just, oh, they're getting a rise out of it or something like that, then how come before OnlyFans existed, there weren't as nearly as many doing this?
I think it's
not
great.
18-year-old girls,
Right.
19-year-old girls doing it. That's where it's bad.
They were on call girl plans. They were on the back page of the Village Voice.
Back page.
Just prostitutes.
Right.
You're a prostitute.
No, there have always
Yeah.
been whores, but now that their whorishness is captured forever. I mean, they really are ruining their lives. It's there forever. Are you going to meet a nice boy? Is he going to bring you home to meet mom? I don't think so.
You are
unless he's a fentanyl addict and his mom's a fentanyl addict, then maybe. But yeah.
Well, it's great for the girls who are sitting on $1 million butthole, but it's not great for those of us who might be sitting on a $20 butthole, and it gives false hope to thinking like, oh, I can just quit my day job and just be a professional butthole.
I'm not a money expert though, but the money that you're basically given or that you don't earn, you spend really fast. The money that you save is the money that you earn. So I have a feeling with all these women showing their butthole, they realize that's quick money and they won't save it. Because I know so many of these, excuse my French ladies, whores that are still making lots of money doing it, but they're not some sort of financial beacons. They're not, multimillionaires. They might have made $1 million, but they probably spent half of it at Sephora or getting their nails done or, God knows what.
Well, and that just leads to
like whether it's getting, like you said, they can get enhancements. They might be getting boob jobs, like the next big thing. Oh, I don't have to just show my butthole now. Now I can show my boobs because they're new. And, so I think a lot of that goes back into what they do as opposed to saving up, investing, buying a house, putting money aside for maybe if they want to have children someday. But
and expanding on
in the business.
Yes, they're investing in themselves.
I've always thought what you just said, Alex Stein, about people who don't earn their money by working for it, particularly, win a lottery, the OnlyFans thing. I've thought the same thing when I see these $100,000 purses, and I'll buy some expensive things, but a $40,000 purse, that has to be money they have married.
And I have to cut you off. The only people that buy this, and I don't want to sound racist at all, African-American women, they love materialism more than anything. I'm just saying anybody that puts their emotional self-esteem into an inanimate object, it's not just African-American women, but that is a huge part of that culture that makes me upset because I think black and white people are the same, but a lot of young black people are born without a dad. And so these people idolize material stuff. And I think that's one of the most toxic things we can do in society.
I thought the fanciest purse was an Hermes purse. And I thought that
Birkin. That's a Birkin bag. Hermes makes a Birkin bag. Yes.
Isn't it Hermes?
Whatever.
What are you saying, Gavin?
I'm so poor that I don't know what any of this stuff is.
I don't know it either. All I know is all I know in the Bible, Proverbs 10:2 says, tainted wealth has no lasting value, but living right can save your life. So it's like, hey, they can celebrate all this money that they're making on OnlyFans, but there really is no value to that. They can't take that with them after they die. And there are much more important things.
Yeah, nobody marries a whore.
Oh, some people can make it work with their lifestyle. It just depends.
Yeah, they end up committing suicide, overdosing. I knew a girl. I mean, she's dead now, so I can say this.
R.I.P.
She hired me for her boyfriend. I give speeches for a living, and she loved Barry Manilow, so he hired Barry Manilow for her birthday, and he was a big Ann Coulter fan, so she hires me. And the weird thing was, I'm getting on the plane, flying out to San Francisco. I brought a friend with me. I thought this was kind of weird, but okay, it's a dinner for this guy. It's his birthday, and I'm going to be there. And on the way, it turns out they had broken up. So just had dinner with her and the friend I brought with me. But then later she ended up as a stripper in Las Vegas. And she kept like texting me and emailing me and telling me her boss at the strip club was a
Do you have her phone number? And do you have her phone number by chance?
She committed suicide.
Oh,
and I tried to talk to her and tell her, and I don't know, I'm not very good at this. I am a Christian, but I said that, you shouldn't be doing this. Jesus has a higher purpose for your life. And I did my best. And the next thing I know, I found out she had committed suicide.
Oh no.
That's how a lot of them end up. You can't. It's a sick way to make it.
It's like a kid when they get a mastectomy. It's very similar. You know, they often so.
Well, I think since we're on the topic of whores, I want to bring in one of my very favorite whores and personal friends, Miss Brandi Love. Wow.
Just steal a line from Larry Flint, but tweak it to my benefit. The horror is here, y'all. So everybody take a sip of what you need to. Wipe the sweat off your brow and know that it's been really hard listening to all of you all, to be fair, because I really thought that most of you are far less judgmental than you are. But it's okay when people show you who they are. Listen.
Well, it's not a matter of being judgmental. It's like if you see someone running off a cliff, you want to save them. So for us to be concerned about your soul and your spirit, that's not being.
Hey, Brandi, nobody needs to be saved, but you get paid to lick guys' butthole. Is that correct? Have you ever licked a man's butthole on camera?
Have you?
No, never once, and I never will because I'm not a homosexual. I'm just saying, have you ever licked a man's anus on camera?
I don't have an issue with anuses. What's your problem with buttholes?
What I'm saying is because you're a whore for money, so you're a sex worker. I mean, no, but I mean, we're just talking about it. I know you're getting mad. You're getting
trust me, everybody is being expected.
Your feelings are getting hurt, but you lick butthole for a living. See, I don't do that.
My feelings aren't hurt. I've got money in the bank. I've been married.
Oh, great! All that money will be. Oh, that money doesn't take away all the buttholes you licked, and I'm not mad that you did that. That's great that you did that, but you shouldn't.
You're not mad, Alex. It's totally
no. I thought you're the one that's shameless. We were talking about whores, and then you come here and you seem like you're upset, but you literally get. I think I've seen the video of you licking a man's butthole. I believe it was on my Twitter feed. I believe.
Thank you. You helped pay my mortgage.
Well, I didn't pay any money for it. It's free 99. 95% of your content. Brandi, all of your content's free on Pornhub. I mean, when you're a big professional whore, I'm sure you make so much money, but think about that. I mean, guys.
Alex, I'm making fun of the word. I'm a slut. I'm not a whore. I don't do things for money.
Wait. So wait. Let's time out. You're a slut, but not a whore. But guys jizz on your face for a living.
Alex, have you never watched
porn? You don't know the difference in the definition.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go get out my Webster's dictionary. But I think if you get jizzed on your face, you're a whore. I hate to break it to you.
Alex, I agree with what Chrissie's saying. You can't say all this stuff if you watch porn.
I don't watch porn. I don't watch porn regularly.
Alex, never watched porn, Alex.
No, I've watched porn in my life, but I don't regularly watch porn. What I'm saying is, Brandi, I follow her on Twitter, and her Twitter feed's disgusting. There's cum shots. There's all kinds of stuff. Because she's a friend of yours. I don't dislike Brandi. I'm just saying I'm calling a spade a spade. I mean, you got mad that you're a whore, but you're a whore. I mean, you get paid to get jizzed on.
Tongue in cheek.
I have no beef. No, but hey, but Brandi, if you love being a whore so much, then why are you getting upset by it? You love being a whore. You love going to Exotica or whatever. Don't you love?
Hold on, Brandi. You gotta admit that.
I'm upset.
You had to admit porn's pretty scummy. Don't you think it's pretty scummy?
That's why I've been in it for 20 years. Yeah,
I know. You don't think it's scummy? You don't think there's guys that abuse young women?
I don't blame you for being jealous of my life. I have a great
Brandi, you think I'm jealous of you, a nasty whore that's been ran through by about every NBA player probably in the league?
You're married.
It costs nothing.
And married, even worse. So your husband's a cuckold. He just likes it when you go get banged by black dudes. I mean, think about how big of a loser your husband is.
Oh my God, Alex, stop being such a bitch.
I'm muted.
No, I'm just saying it how it is.
Alex, it costs nothing to be nice. This is already hell of a stream. This is.
I just think it's funny that she got mad for being a whore, but she literally has a husband that lets her get fucked by other guys and get jizzed on and bang multiple black guys. Let's just be.
Get laid. You really.
I got a girl right here. I got laid 2 minutes ago, and guess what? We didn't have to film it to make $5.99 on the internet like you. We're totally different.
2 minutes ago, you've been on here for 30 minutes.
Okay, I have a girl in my room right now that's way hotter, way younger than you'll ever be, sweetheart, with your fake tits and all your fake bull crap.
Alex, come on. Like, this doesn't have to be the whole
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? It's funny making fun of a big whore.
Is it funny?
I think it's
too much.
Brandi, do you lick guys' butthole and do you get paid to get jizzed on for a living?
It's a little unnecessary.
Alex, you've been drinking tonight, haven't you?
I haven't had one thing to drink. I just think it's funny to call you out. Yeah, no, I'm sober as a
She's
skunk.
called out. She's not like
Look,
she
we
got
can
mad.
we can
She got-
disagree,
no,
but
Chrissy,
we can't make her
Chrissy.
decisions for her. And at the end of the
Great,
day,
Melonie,
I don't
thought
want.
you were
I
a
don't.
Christian, so you
And
like
I am,
it.
and I am
What
not
does
here
Jesus
to
say about
let
Brandi?
me let me speak.
What
Please
is
let
what
me
does
speak.
Jesus Christo say about
I am
Brandi?
not here to degrade Brandi
You think?
right
oh,
now.
you think Jesus
He
likes
knows
that? Oh,
our-
Mary Magdalene was
Alex,
a whore.
let
Excuse
me
me.
talk,
Oh yeah, yeah.
dude.
So
Let
Brandi's
me
like Mary
talk.
Magdalene. He's-
Let me talk.
Okay, he's in a timeout.
Okay,
He's in a
I
little bit
am
of a
not here
timeout.
to degrade someone like Brandi. Clearly, I disagree with her actions and what she's doing. I think that she's harming her own soul, and especially, her own soul, and risking her own eternal life. And
Can I
so,
ask you a question?
God made you. God made you for a reason. God put you on this earth for a reason, and that means that there's a special purpose that you could be fulfilling. And this is something that, to meet that purpose, you need to part from. And you need Jesus.
Can I ask you a very sincere question? And I appreciate
Yes.
you speaking in a normal tone, because this is conversational, not screaming. We obviously all have very different opinions, but see, I find that a beautiful thing. If we all thought the same way, it would be one, boring, two, ineffective, and three, not the way God made us. You guys can judge me all you want, but I only have one judge, and that's God himself.
And he
for
says
you
in the
guys
Bible that what you're doing is wrong and will send you to
I
hell.
thought you were going to let me speak.
Okay, go ahead.
Hey, where did Alex go?
We don't care. It's all right.
We
But
cut him?
you believe in God and that he has a purpose for everybody. So what makes you so superior to think that you know God's plan
I'm
for me?
not superior to
No,
you.
no, no, but do you
I just
understand what you're
accepted
saying?
Jesus Christ and
So have
his
I.
sacrifice. If
So
you're
have
still
I.
living in sin, then Christ is not in you.
But I don't.
And you're saying to me that you're not living in sin, sweetheart. We
No,
all live in
I'm not
sin.
living
That's the
in
whole
sin.
point.
I do stumble sometimes, but I do
We
not
all
live in
do.
sin.
But
do
I
not
don't
live in
know what
sin.
makes you
can't
happy, and I
speak-
don't
you
know
can't
God's
speak
plan
wrong.
for you, nor would I ever say that I did. That's
I
between you
don't
and
know
me.
God's plan for me, but the Bible tells me what's not God's plan for me, and I follow that.
But I think it's like you have to know that not everyone is living by the Bible. Like not everyone wants to be
But they
told
should
how to.
be. I mean, and if they
Sure,
don't, that's their
but-
business. I can't force my beliefs on them. But
be a light in a dark
if
place.
you're going to
don't
ask
carry it
about
down
my
their
opinions,
throat.
I'm not
It's-
going to validate someone on their way to hell. I'm not going to do that. That wouldn't be love to validate that.
That's the very thing that leads people away from Christ, is that attitude. I think you have a lovely soul, and
Brandi's
I'm
going to
sure you
hell?
mean well, but that's not what
If
turns
she
people
doesn't
to
accept
God.
Jesus and turn, then she would. And then that I would not want to see that. So that's why I would speak out about it. It'd be the easiest thing in the world to hop on here and say, "Oh, it's okay to live like that." Totally fine, You can. It just, everybody just do your thing. That's the easiest thing to say. It's not easy to go on here and say the things that I am saying, but.
I see
But
what
you
you're saying, Melonie. I
honestly
think there's
that
a
you
difference.
know- Do you guys know who's accepted Christ? Can you walk through life and you decide yourself who has a relationship with God and who doesn't, based upon what you see? I mean, there's a spirituality that you don't see.
Well, I
with
mean,
people
you'll know
guys.
them by their fruits. The Bible says in Hebrews 10:26 says that, if you are actively living in sin, then there is no sacrifice for you. If you are willingly living a life of sin, and in this case, being in the pornographic industry
For you,
and
it
selling
would
your
be
body,
a
you
sin.
are.
For you, it would be a sin.
Sin is
For an
not
alcoholic-
subjective. Sin is concrete, and it's in the Bible.
Between a man and a wife, all things are good. I've been married for almost 30 years happily. So I think it's insane that you want to judge me based on my sexual preferences. If I was an alcoholic and I chose to take drinks, I would be living in sin knowingly. But I'm not an alcoholic, so I can take a drink. For you, pornography may be a sin. For others, it's not. It's extremely judgmental to assume
sin is not
somebody's
subjective. I'm sorry, it's just not.
You don't think the
read
Bible's
the
subjective?
Bible.
I
Read
think
the
it would be
Bible.
more
Sin is not
judgmental if sin were subjective. I mean, God isn't our secret Santa. We're not making up the rules as we go along. It's not just whatever you want it to be. The rules are the rules, whether we like them or not. And I'm sure all of us Christians don't like a lot of things we have to do.
Yeah.
But it's not like it would be it would be judgmental if we were just making it up. Well, what I do is okay and what you do isn't okay. But it isn't like that. God makes the rules.
Yeah, and the relationship between God and you is different than the relationship between God and me. I know exactly where I'm going when I die, and I don't have an issue with my lifestyle. And I just find it horribly sad that whether it's politics and it's the far right or it's Christians, if you don't live their way, then you're out. If you're not the kind of Republican we don't want you voting with us. If you're not the kind of Christian we like, then you can't go to heaven. Like you guys have to say, no, there's one final say. And it would be such a happier world if people would just live and let live and love one another instead of be so filled with hate. If people don't think and act as you as a human, whom we're internally flawed, want them to be. It just doesn't make, I don't have issue with any of you. I think it's lovely. If you're happy living your life, that's wonderful. But the amount of time spent judging others and degrading and berating and calling names like Alex seems to think is effective is just bizarre to me. I wasn't mad about words are subjective. I wasn't mad. If you guys thought I was mad, go ahead and tell me. I was playing. Chrissy knows me pretty well. I asked her to introduce me that way because obviously it's a hot button.
You're just having fun with it. And
I think there's word.
I'm not going to force my values on you. I said what I felt compelled to say, and you're an adult and you're going to make your own decisions. And all I can do at this point is just pray for you. So I'm happy to continue the show and have a good time.
I think there's a difference between someone who is a full-grown woman, very sure of their career, not struggling with it, not having like a soul crisis, and a difference between someone who's maybe just starting out in the industry, whether whatever it is, if it's OnlyFans, if it's mainstream porn, and they're like, oh, this doesn't feel right. Like, I can understand speaking to that person in a way, like maybe this industry is taking a toll on your soul. Maybe it's not your purpose, but like Brandi is a veteran. Like, she would know if this is not the right industry for her, if she was having like a crisis. And
certainly not for everybody. We all know that. No. It's very unfortunate that people that don't have a strong foundation know what they want. It's their sexual bend, whatever it may be, that would get involved in it, because obviously things can go awry. Your sexuality is nothing to mess with. And it's certainly nothing to try to define when you're working in the industry. Going into the industry as an adult with a very strong foundation is very different than an 18-year-old out of high school who answers an ad on, I don't know, what somebody mentioned, Backpage. I don't even know if that's still a thing, but obviously it's a very different circumstance. I'm not from that mindset. I came from corporate America, as did my husband, and we developed a business 20 years ago, and knock on wood, it's still going. I think Gavin mentioned that about 18, 19-year-olds. It's very, very different. Obviously, I started when I was 29, 30. And I don't think Anne's here anymore, but to her comment about easy money and girls making hundreds of thousands of dollars, not really working except for showing their vagina, that's offensive. I work 12 hours a day and have for the last 19 years. So I just take offense to the fact that maybe there's girls out there who throw a photo up and make that kind of money, but the women I know and the men I know making a living on OnlyFans, they're putting in 60, 70 hours a week. So that's not that that matters to any of y'all, but it's a real job if you take it seriously.
I just think regardless of, if someone's, well, this is different because someone's having fun with it and enjoying it and are a veteran. I mean, the Bible says the heart is deceptive above all things. You can't count on feelings based on these things. Serial killers have fun killing people. You know, that you can't base what's a sin based on your feelings. I mean, the Bible is concrete. We don't even like everything. There's some things that I wish weren't a sin, but that doesn't make it not a sin. And we have that right there. So
do you remember that line between a husband and a wife, all things are acceptable? You know that line in the Bible?
The marriage bed, and the marriage bed is sacred and it's private. It's not meant to be shared with everyone.
Do we really think that Brandi is going to hell, like a lake of fire for eternity?
If she died right now, yes, she would.
That's very sad.
But there still is hope for her. There's still hope for her. There's hope for everybody, no matter what you've done. All you have to do is accept Jesus.
I think porn is evil. Porn is bad. It's hurting young people.
You accept Jesus, and turning from sin is the fruit of that. That is the evidence of that.
The Zoomers' dating lives, but promiscuity. I don't think I respect what Brandi said. I don't think that she's going to be, punished by God for this stuff.
Well, it's not punished. I mean, we have the option. We can accept Jesus. That's a free gift. We can either accept that and go to heaven or don't.
But not everybody. It's like expecting everybody to live by like Islam.
I think porn is bad. I think Brandi's right.
Jesus is the only way. Jesus is the only way. And the Bible gives us the answers. We can't just pretend
going to a lake of fire and damnation for porn. I think it's porn is terrible. I am against porn, but I'm also against shoplifting. I'm against alcoholism. I'm against cocaine use. I've done at least
the thing. It's called personal responsibility, Gavin. And there's all of these things because we were all very fortunate to be born in what used to be, and for a while may still be, a free country. You have the choice. You don't like porn, don't go to the porn site. If you don't do alcohol well, you have a choice
if you want to accept Jesus and live by his commandments or not. We all have those choices, but we will be responsible for
Chrissy, are we going to have conversation or is this a church sermon?
I mean, you guys can have fun. I've said what I'm going to say. I don't want to interrupt and ruin your conversations. So
I understand both your points.
Brandi's not going into a lake of fire.
I think it brings up an interesting, larger conversation about, because Brandi, this was maybe a year or two ago.
Brandi's going into a lake of fire for eternity.
She doesn't change. Yes, we all have to accept Jesus and turn from sin.
All right, I was in the middle of saying something. So
it's in the Bible. Jesus is the only way. It's in the Bible.
Okay.
I don't want to bombard. I see chat isn't even all liking this. I'm not going to bombard everybody, but just gonna say the Bible is right there. I encourage you to read it.
Your arrogance is outstanding, and I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, and I will pray for you.
I think it brings up
that's very sweet of you.
I understand Melonie's position. I just don't think it's exactly productive to make the same point over and over again. And I wanted to bring up and have a conversation about this larger idea of, can you be considered conservative or on the right and be in the line of work that Brandi's in, or if you're somebody who, I don't know, sells alcohol, or you know what I mean? I think sometimes the right gets confused with the religious right, and then they do end up sort of kicking a lot of people out of the tent, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's the most productive thing to do from a party standpoint, but you see that happening a lot because Brandi, what was that? When did you get kicked out of TPUSA? Was it 21?
I think that was 2 years ago. Was that 2 or 3 years ago? I forget.
And you got kicked out because somebody thought you were handing out business cards.
No. That was not why. That was absolutely not why.
No, that's what people were saying. But of course you weren't doing that. They just were upset to see you there, which I don't think is.
Oh, but somebody knew who I was. They were upset that I was there, but they all knew who I was. That's a fascinating issue in and of itself. But that was that at the end of the day, the only thing, and I hate for it because I love conversation. I feel like this was a healthy debate. And I think there could be multiple healthy debates. We don't all have to feel or philosophize or have the same theology as one another to have intelligent conversation. But when people get so pigeonholed into a mindset, the conversation's over. It's just over. There is no more communication. It's, you didn't say what I want you to say, therefore it's over. And I find that horribly sad. It's tribalism. It's the very thing that we're living in today. It's the very issue with America today, is that if you don't fit into a particular group, you get pushed into another one. And to me, it's just, this was the perfect example of everything that's wrong. Nobody can communicate. They yell and scream. If you don't think like I do, and unfortunately, sadly, Melonie and I think her name's Melonie, right? We actually have way more in common than she's willing to believe, simply because we're not to the T. And that makes me very sad.
You're never going to get to fuck her because she hung up like that. So you guys are toast.
It's okay. She's not my type.
But it's just the thing is, I don't have people on. I didn't have everybody on so that they could gang up and shame Brandi for her life choices. That wasn't the point of this show tonight.
But can I posit a scenario? So there was a wrestler, a popular wrestler, who was just fired from, I don't know, the WWE. I don't watch wrestling. because she had an OnlyFans and she showed her tits in the OnlyFans. I don't think porn is good for society. I don't think it should be illegal. But if you're a pro wrestler, you have a lot of young girls that are fans of you and young boys and stuff. Do you think it's legit that she got fired for showing nudity on her OnlyFans?
I don't know what her contract says. It depends on what kind of contract she signed. If there's some sort of morality clause, which many corporate contracts have, then she broke her
She's
contract.
a pro wrestler, and pro wrestler is basically for kids. Like it's Barney the dinosaur. I mean, only retarded adults take wrestling seriously.
Again, I wouldn't choose to say what she can and can't do. I'm not her parent, and I'm not the morality police. But if she is a pro wrestler, signed a contract that said that she couldn't do those things, well then she needed to get fired.
Okay, but what about say you were writing a contract for like a volleyball star?
Uh-huh.
And would you include you can't do porn in her contract?
Me as what, the coach? What's my position?
A major CEO, like a major player in the industry of volleyball.
Well, I wouldn't. It's hard for me to put my head there because that's not my position in life. That's not what I chose to do or be. But I'm a firm believer in that what people do in their adult life after hours is nobody's business.
Kids, you're basically Fred. You're basically Mr. Rogers.
But why would kids know about her OnlyFans? That's shame on the parents.
Well, it's gonna. You Google her name, it's gonna come up.
Shame on the parents. Why aren't they watching what their kids Googling? I mean, where is the responsibility here? Is it on a 12-year-old kid or the parents who have the 12-year-old kid's computer in their room? I wouldn't blame you if my kid Googled something on you and it was inappropriate. I would be upset with myself for not knowing what my child was doing.
But like, if a Hulk Hogan was doing gay porn, shouldn't he not do that?
Why? I wouldn't tell him who to have sex with. That's not my position.
I know, but lots of little kids look up to Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan isn't doing gay porn, so it's a non-issue.
Well, it's called a hypothetical.
I understand what you're saying. I don't have the same issue that you guys all have with sexuality. I think you should do as you want to do. It's none of my business. If it's legal, then and you're an adult, it's none of my business. I don't know why everybody is so consumed with what other people do in their bedroom.
I'm not attacking you, by the way. I'm not like
I understand that. I can tell what you're doing.
You're okay. Like pretend it's 1989 when Hulk Hogan was at his peak.
Wish.
You were okay. You're okay with Hulk Hogan doing gay porn.
It's none of my business. I wouldn't have an issue with it.
Okay.
If he's in the ring wearing an I'm gay doing gay porn at OnlyFans.com Hulk Hogan, yes, I would have an issue. But if he's separating what he does after the ring, I don't see why it's an issue. There's a big difference. Like you're talking about Hulk Hogan. That's a very social, huge marketing name. If he is going into the ring promoting his other business, yeah, obviously that's conflict of interest. That's
People
a problem.
People are going to look it up. They're going to see him. You can't quietly do gay porn if you're Hulk Hogan in 1989.
Well, I don't think, well, anyways, again, my point is the same. I put the responsibility on parents to know what their children are doing. And I would think that most likely he wouldn't be able to do both things because the chosen profession. If he's Hulk Hogan, well, who's the owner of that? The WWE is going to fire him. Thank you, Vince McMahon. If they would fire him if they found that out, it wouldn't be able to.
Should they fire him though?
I don't think so, but that's me.
Oh, come on. I mean, I chose a very hyperbolic example to make my point, but come on. Hulk Hogan should not be doing gay porn in 1989.
2023 is the time to do gay porn. Really, it's these are much friendlier, gayer times. Okay. I'm gonna pull this back together.
So we lost Alex and
we did. We lost a few people.
We lost three people.
Well, I was just chatting with. I was trying to talk with Alex because he got upset because he thinks I kicked him off the stream, but I was trying to let Brandi make a point, and I just put him down back in the waiting room. I was gonna have him come back, but then he just left. So, and now there's a strobe, and then Anne left, and Melonie left. But that's it's okay. You know, I didn't plan for any of this to happen. I just wanted to talk about the idea of sort of kicking people out of the party because they don't fit a very specific sort of like moral framework, but maybe that's not that.
Well, it worked.
I don't know.
Before we completely change subjects, can I pimp out one of my favorite internet whores, Cecil?
Oh, Cecil. We love Cecil.
Can you share my screen?
Oh, you mean his comic book?
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, my dear friend Cecil, our favorite special needs LGBTQ plus friend on the internet, has a comic book that's live now on Indiegogo. If you guys could help get this up to $30,000, you'll make his hearted heart. Please go and back it while it is still available. Just go to Indiegogo, cash grab, and you guys will find it. Thank you.
Wow,
I'm gonna help my friends too while we're doing this. Brandi, Love, or Gavin, would you either of you want to go on the Tower Gang podcast?
Oh wow, yeah, everybody get your plugs in.
Mm-hmm. Would either of you be interested in the Tower Gang podcast?
Hit me up.
Let's do it.
Okay, cool, great, awesome. I'll let them know.
I love it. Okay. Kiki's here. I don't know if you're ready, Keanu, or you're just in the middle of cooking something. This is a free for all.
Can I say something? Are we done plugging or are we still plugging?
So plug away.
I hate that when you go on Netflix right now, Suits comes up. And the only reason Suits comes up is because Meghan Markle was on.
Thank you.
It is a shitty show done by a retard. It's written by the stupidest person in the history of cinema. He did a movie. He did a bunch of movies about like Nazi skinhead murderers. He's one of the least talented people in the world. But because Meghan Markle is some extra in the background, he's got like the #1 show on Netflix. It's infuriating. I want to
never seen it.
Everyone involved.
Never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
Yeah, no one has. It's garbage. But if you click on Netflix right now, it'll be one of your top choices.
Okay.
It's terrible. It's terrible that they do that shit.
Well, fuck that movie.
What are you making, Keanu?
Hi, everyone.
What are you making?
I'm making shepherd's pie for my betrothed.
Oh, wow.
Lively, and I wanted to say hi to all you fine people. Hello, lovely everyone.
Hello, Keanu. I only brought you in because I thought you were going to yell at the guests, but
no, I don't want to.
Just being calm. Okay.
I will. I do have one point. I was a bit incensed. I love Alex. I love everybody there. I love.
I do too.
Did they leave because of the OnlyFans talk, and we were trying to save goals and everything?
Yes.
Well, here's my thing. Melonie Mac, dear friend of mine. I adore her. I don't think she realizes she is an internet person, correct? If she doesn't believe in her heart of hearts, and she may not, that men on the internet are jerking off whilst they watch her read the Bible, she is sorely mistaken. What is the difference there? There's no difference, really. She's just doing something else, and that might be untoward to say. And I feel for her, and I feel like she wants to save everyone's soul, and that's all right. But adults are okay to make their own decisions. Chrissy, I felt like you had a very good point. And an adult who has, like, it's completely different than a trans kid, like, cutting, when they're not an 18-year-old.
Who's being taken advantage of, right.
But I just feel like, obviously, Brandi is Brandi, right?
Yeah.
You're completely happy with your life, right?
I am.
Enough said. I have an OnlyFans, and yet I'm cooking shepherd's pie for my idiot betrothed, right? You can have the best of both worlds. We can all go to heaven or hell or whatever the boy runs.
Wait, Keanu, you have an OnlyFans?
Oh God.
I'm goofy. I don't know why anyone would subscribe, but a lot of female comedians.
Do you expose yourself nakedly?
Listen.
He's about to subscribe.
Yeah.
One time, $1,000. One asshole. One time, $1,000. Right in the.
We just that one time.
To one person. And I found out that wasn't for me because I just don't have the prettiest asshole. But so mostly it's just lingerie or whatever. And I have a bunch of.
So do you do nudity on your OnlyFans?
Not so much. No, not. It's really.
But some.
It's sort of a boring OnlyFans, but I don't knock women that do. And I I'm a goofball.
So you do show your tits.
Have I? Yes, of course. It's just we're all the same, right? Adam, Eve, all that,
I can't look at Gina in the face ever again.
I just think like even if Brandi or Keanu were to stop making content tomorrow, that there will always be somebody to make adult content, and it's impossible to completely wipe out the adult industry. It's like you only have control over you and what you consume and what your kids consume and your family, right? Or whoever you're dating, what your boundaries are.
Who do we think is someone's consuming this content? Do I watch porn? Absolutely. I don't know a person that doesn't. So, but I know a goofball, but I don't knock women that do. If they're mentally okay with it and it doesn't like hinder their lives, that's all.
I can't look Gino in the eyes ever again, knowing that you show your tits to strangers.
I don't. I mean, mostly nowadays it's just outfits. I'm too much of a ball, all right? And there's not much going on here anyway. But a lot of comedians in the pandemic, a lot of them did that. I think. Look at Karen. She's a strong, independent lady. I think Alex was bringing her up, right?
What?
I'm wrong. Karen Fia.
Wait, you cut out a little, Keanu.
My fault.
What's she saying?
I don't know.
Karen Fian.
Oh, Karen. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. And
Right, that's what I heard. She's a strong, independent lady, and if she's okay with it, I don't understand why she can't be funny and a comedian and also have an OnlyFans and make some coin,
What about if you have kids and they find out that you have porn out there? Isn't that
Luckily,
bad?
I don't want children, and I also don't do porn. It's more just like, I mean,
Brandi,
honestly,
do you have any kids?
My OnlyFans is a disgrace. It's very mild.
I think if you bring kids into the world and you're in this industry, willingly, like, okay, this is going to be a conversation to have with them eventually. And I don't think you would bring kids into the world if you weren't ready to have that conversation. I mean, it's not everybody's.
It's not for everyone, but anybody on the internet exposing themselves to anything, people could be jerking off to you, is all I'm saying.
Isn't it bad to tell your son that you have porn out there?
I don't want kids, so I don't ever have to cross that road.
What about Brandi?
Yes, I do.
How old are your kids?
That's really nobody's business, is it?
Kim K makes it work. She's a billionaire, so.
Wait, what's that?
Kim Kardashian makes it work. She's a billionaire and an entrepreneur and is getting people out of jail when they've been wrongly accused.
Who cares about money?
Oh, I don't put my butthole on the internet. I host spaces on Twitter through SimpCast IRL, and anybody should go subscribe over there and watch my spaces or listen on X.
But very good.
Thank you. I had Chrissie on a few weeks ago. On December 16th, I'm going to do a space honoring the 250th anniversary of the Boston Tea Party, and we're going to tell the true story of what happened because only one account exists about what happened that night. It's the people who participated in the Boston Tea Party, they all took an oath saying
weird segue. We're talking about porn and kids.
I know.
She's doing her plugs. Gavin.
I'm plugging right now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get off in a minute, so I just wanted to.
Okay, that's weird. That's not.
You plugged. You're.
I'll bring it back. I'll be getting off.
You'll be able to bring it right back. I promise.
I'll be jumping out.
Don't worry,
going on to my OnlyFans.
What we do is we sell the licenses to sell
you can bring it back to OnlyFans.
and you can
go
to waterfiltration.com and sign up. Use the promo code Gavin, and you can get all the water filtration licenses you need.
Is that for real? No, that can't be real. Okay.
This is why women shouldn't be in these.
I don't know. You guys
things.
get all sorts of sponsors.
They just
She
wanna
can
promote
plug
their own
her
shit.
shit, Gavin. She can. They're very good
It's
spaces.
terrible. You're embarrassing. What are you doing? Why are you even
Are you
here?
talking to me?
Or me?
No, I'm having Josie. Like we're trying to have an interesting conversation about porn, and she's like, "Hey, I gotta go soon, so check out my thing." Like,
I'm sorry, but nothing.
How do you tell your kids?
There's nothing wrong with
be in a
that.
man's
How about that,
industry like
Gabby?
me today. You're terrible at your job.
Gavin. There's nothing
actually
wrong with
really
having to
successful.
go. Like not everyone
Yeah,
can
you
do the
suck.
full time. It's okay to plug your stuff and go. I'm
Make
not
babies and stay at home.
She made a cute joke about assholes on the internet, which I'm looking at one
That
right
was
now.
funny.
He's right
Yeah,
to
I like
the
that.
right
That
of
was
me.
funny.
And she was plugging.
What's the
I guess,
coupon
to go.
code? Before you go, what's the coupon
Pat,
code?
she had a little sign that said help, which I think is how she and I were both feeling, as well
Yeah.
as
Okay.
You had
Just
No,
had
I
a thought, you just haven't paid attention.
Make sure you say your coupon code while we're on the debate.
I don't have a coupon code. I don't do
All right,
discount
Josie,
shit.
thanks.
Sorry. Yeah. All right, Gavin, can I keep talking or are you gonna?
Yes, please promote your thing.
All right, great. Okay, well, the colonists who dumped the tea into the Boston Harbor on December 16th, 1773, they took an oath to not reveal their names for 50 years, and they all abided by that oath. So there's only one account that exists of exactly what happened that night, and he published it 61 years after the Boston Tea Party. So I'm going to use his memoir and tell everybody the real story because there's a lot that we learned in school that that's not the truth, and we find out a lot. But I just want to be able to educate people and help them with that. So
I think that's nice. Thank
And
you
I
for
like the
telling
way
me that.
I like the way you broke down the Bill of Rights in like your tweet thread. I don't know if that was today
Thank
or
you.
yesterday,
Well,
but I was like,
I did that today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people don't really know their natural rights because of the way that it's written. So I broke it down in a way that people can understand what their rights are. You know, I explained what the First Amendment meant, what it included, what it didn't include. And I did the same thing with the Second Amendment. And I explained that the Fifth Amendment shows the protections that you have as a human, and the Sixth Amendment shows your entitlements as a human. So yeah, that's what I did today. So it's on my page. You know, if anybody's really, I broke it down. What did I call it? The Bill of Rights in a way that anybody can understand it, because a lot of people don't, and it's really important to know your rights.
It's a shame some of the earlier guests weren't here to hear that. Thank you for sharing that, Josie.
I've
That
bought Josie. I've bought
I
one of
think-
those teabagged Bill of Rights things like you have, and I
Yeah.
can barely read the damn thing. I like was so excited to like buy it
Yeah.
and read it, and I was like, oh, this is written in like a triple script. So
Definitely. And a lot of
Yeah.
people have like a little like pocket constitution, and it's got it all written. It's just written in a language that we really, unfortunately, don't speak at all anymore. So I broke it down in a way that people can understand, you know. And the Ninth Amendment, the 10th Amendment are the two most important amendments. So I broke those down. Yeah, so that's what I do. I think you girls are lovely, and you're adults, and you can do whatever you want with your bodies, and you know, all the more power to you for sure. You know, I don't agree with kids doing it, of course, but you know, it's
Obviously.
all the way. Yeah, absolutely.
Is there something
You
in
don't
the
want children doing
Constitution
porn?
that
That's
talks about
an
assholes?
adventurous take.
yeah, I think she meant like watching it, consuming
Watching
it that
it.
you were talking about
Jesus.
earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Way to
segueing
think
back
outside the
into your
box.
porn conversation, so you can get
Gavin,
yourself
didn't you
off,
take your
Gavin.
dick out live on air?
I was about
Yeah.
to say, Anna. Thank you, Anna. You did.
That
correct?
was free sex work.
Yeah.
That was
All right, so I'm
hilarious.
just gonna segue. I'm just helping segue you guys back into the porn conversation. You can keep on going with
Yeah,
that. I'm
thanks.
sorry,
Thank
guys.
you.
Josie, I've been looking forward to meeting you for a long time, so nice kind of meeting you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you. I really like your work.
Thank you. I like yours as well.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Take
you work
care,
really
love.
hard, and I really appreciate you. All right, it's nice to meet you, Brandi Love and Keanu. Very nice to meet you.
Nice
It was a
Love
pleasure
you,
talking to
Josie.
all of you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Very
Chrissy, as
great
always.
plugs. Thank you for plugging them. Thank you.
Yes,
Absolutely.
everyone should listen to Josie Spaces on Twitter. She's very good.
Thank you, Chrissy. All right, everybody, have a good night.
Sorry, it's awkward. Love you,
Hi,
Josie.
Josie. Sorry to see you go.
Dick. Oh boy.
What a
All right.
douche. I didn't know. I didn't know what a
I should
woman
have
could be
booked
a
30 guests at this rate. I didn't know everyone.
Like, I totally disagree with Brandi's career. I'm against porn. I would way rather hang out with her.
Yeah, how is that different?
Having double standards.
How is
What
that
a
different,
fucking
Gavin?
douchebag everyone else has been. I think you know that scene in Gran Torino where he's washing his face and he's like, I got
here
more
we
in
go.
common with
God
these
damn
dukes than I do with my whole
Get off my
family.
lawn.
So you're Clint Eastwood now?
Like, I like Brandi, who I disagree with, more than any of these douchebags who fucking leave the show because they're offended. Even my own good friend Ann Coulter and Alex Stein, like, where the fuck did they go? What a bunch of pussy.
I expected that, though. If you don't agree with them 100%, they can't speak to you. I've been following both of them. I don't. They may hate me, but I don't understand how Christians hate. That doesn't even make sense to me. So the fact that we couldn't have a civil conversation, it tells me everything about them.
It just sucks that you can't disagree with somebody and also have a conversation with them, like
Well,
without it
that was my whole
escalating.
point,
to
My dad
Chrissy.
said that. My dad, at his local pub, they put up a sign and it said no discussing politics. And my dad was like, that's why I'm here. You're going to take that away. I have no reason to be here. I talk to Mercedes Carrera every day, and she's in jail for 6 years for a crime she didn't commit.
Yet she's still there because who's helping her?
Nobody. You know what attracted me to Mercedes? There was a porn star who was gang raped. They broke into her house and gang raped her, and no one gave a shit because they're like, she's a fucking porn star. Who gives a fuck? She's a whore. She deserves it.
Well, that's how some of the people on this very show would feel. It's exactly how they would feel because you're not human if you make a choice that they wouldn't. It's very strange to me that as a grown woman that makes my own choices, they would feel that way about me as a human, not knowing me, because I don't.
They don't want you to get gang raped. They're
I
mad.
didn't say that. That's not what I said. I said that their feelings and attitude towards me would be one very similar to, she does porn, we don't care about her. And that's putting no faith in humanity or any empathy towards somebody that they don't even know based on a choice that they wouldn't make. That's an extremely, it's such a narrow mind. It's the opposite of what we're supposed to be. You know, people that believe that humans like spirituality are like snowflakes. No two are the same. We all have a different path for a different reason. And the fact that there are people that believe that they know better than you or me what makes us individually happy is shocking to me. Don't have to agree with me, but that's shocking to me.
No, their contention with your
nicest
location.
people ever too, but I don't know why they would. I don't know why they would leave. I love Melonie. I love Alex.
Okay, I put Alex down in the waiting room just because he wouldn't stop yelling. I was trying to give Brandi a chance to respond, and he thinks that equals kicking him out. I don't think it is. I hope I didn't hurt his feelings by putting him in the waiting room temporarily.
You guys want to know something crazy? When I was last in Dallas, I fucked Alex Stein.
What?
I believe it.
I had no hotel room. I stayed at
So
his
were you the
house,
top or the bottom?
and we were. And I was like, "Wait a minute, you have one bed here?" I was like, "I'll just sleep on the couch." He goes, "No, man, come on, crash on my couch. Come crash in my room."
So
I
you
crashed
shared a
in his
room.
bed. And I need to sleep nude. I feel like
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I feel claustrophobic if I'm wearing clothes. So I was sleeping next to
in the
him,
winter?
and he kept scooching his buttocks like over to me.
I
And I
don't
was like,
believe
"Dude,
this
what are you
story.
doing?" And inevitably,
Why would you bring that up right now? Why don't you do?
So you're gay?
I entered his anal lips.
Oh, gross.
Very
For-
It's hard to be able to do that. So you got turned on by Alex Stein.
Yes. Was it thrilling?
It was not great. I didn't like it.
Whatever are you going to tell your children?
I'm not gay, so I hated the entire
You had to be gay enough to
30-minute
get hard
session.
to enter
I
him.
hated the kissing. I hated the ejaculating on
So he
him.
presented
I
to
hated
you.
the
Or
whole,
the
like
Heath
choking
Ledger
him.
is Jake Gyllenhaal. I could see it. You should do a remake.
Wait, is there a voice here that's not on the screen?
It's it's just Keanu because she doesn't have a microphone.
Sorry, apologize. I'm at Gino's house. I'm not in my studio.
This
She's out
is
in the field.
beyond fascinating to me, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. It's totally fine. But in general, everybody wants to gang up on me for my personal choices. I'm not saying any of you in this room right now currently were exactly mean or rude, but pushy and confrontational a little bit, but we were having a good debate. And now we're going to turn it around, and you're talking about gay sex you're having fun. And that's
funny.
Wait. That's okay. We're on YouTube where children can log in at any time. On adult sites, you have to be 18, check the box, have a credit card. And yet I'm the one who's the whore and the one making poor life choices. Help me with the hypocrisy. Now, I love it, Gavin. I like this side of you, but just 10 minutes ago, you were trying to rip me a new asshole. I don't get it.
Well, it's okay when Gavin does it because it's funny. Like if you take your penis out to be funny, that's different.
I don't even know what we're on, by the way.
and
I'm
I
not familiar with. I'm not familiar
get
with this social media, so I don't even know where we are. But
Well, that's why you
I
felt
think
like lounging shirtless when you
Rob, that is such a lazy mentality. Sorry, guys. I just saw something. Anybody who says because you're a porn star, I have no respect for you because you're intellectually lazy.
I agree.
Lazy.
No, I think porn is bad the way I think alcohol is bad. I do alcohol all day, every day. I'm on it right now. Look at this.
Can tell.
This is bad. Like it's a
Not
sin.
so much that you black out, really.
Something you shouldn't do. And I
It's
don't
something
think
an alcoholic
porn stars are
shouldn't
being
do.
thrown into
Somebody
a
who
lake of
doesn't have a
fire.
disease is fine. It's not a sin for everybody. It's a sin for somebody who it's a sin for.
No, it's bad. It's bad. It's
I think I understand drawing a moral line in the sand, but I also think, like, let's say, for example, like Brandi or Keanu. Let's say deep down, maybe they weren't comfortable
you
with
know
their
what?
lifestyle. Hold on, let me finish this point. Let's just say deep down they weren't comfortable, and they're thinking like, maybe I want to be a born again or whatever. Someone who is shaming and yelling at you, that's not going to be someone who I think. Let me just say, if I were doing OnlyFans, right, and I wanted to turn my life around and totally change, be a born again Christian or whatever, like having somebody yelling and shaming me that's not a welcoming energy to me. Like I wouldn't go to somebody and confide in them who just like reamed me out for 20 minutes. Like I don't. That's not somebody you can be vulnerable with. Yeah. It's corrupting the breast milk. I'm just saying, like, if your goal is to convert people to the right side, I don't think hardcore shaming in that particular way is the most efficient way to get people to your side.
Yeah, shame. Like, yeah. Who cares about shame?
What games are those, Gavin?
What?
What games are those?
Oh, it's Street Fighter 2.
Oh.
And then it's Street Fighter 2, which one of the buttons doesn't work, so it doesn't really have any options. Like once one button doesn't work. There's Terminator 2. This game is awesome. Terminator 2 Pinball. And then I bought this game for $3,000.
Whoa.
It has like every video game in the world on it.
cost me 3 assholes.
Like, think of a video game that's on it.
Ooh.
I like Joust.
What about Qbert? Is Qbert on there?
It's got Qbert. If you want to
Pac-Man?
pull up Qbert, I'll pull up Qbert.
Space Invaders?
It's
Pac-Man?
got Space Invaders.
Mrs. Pac-Man?
It's Mrs. Pac-Man. She's there. She's there.
Whoa.
Galactica.
Pac-Man, I heard she has an OnlyFans, actually. Got into
But
it.
I think that we have to differentiate between something that's sinful and bad, like alcohol, and something that is like you're going to hell, you're going to fucking die in lake of fire and all this shit.
Well, maybe we don't
You know
all
what I mean?
subscribe to that belief. There's a
What?
religion. Maybe we don't all maybe subscribe to that belief. There's many different. Just because you believe in a man in the sky or whatever, I'm not saying I don't. But whatever, it doesn't mean that we all have to be that way. My parents are proud of me. I'm a comedian. I have a podcast. I also happen to have an OnlyFans. I have a
And you have a job.
lovely betrothed, you know.
Okay, but let's get down to like brass
Book
tacks.
called the
Like,
Bible. that doesn't mean I have to. It's not proven science.
No,
I'm not saying I do.
you don't have to get into Christianity and everything.
Well, I am.
If you show your tits to someone and you're with Gino, that's
You show your dick to people on the street.
Hello, Larry Sharpe. We had to bring in more guests because I kept
My
losing
dick's
them.
hilarious. Like it's not.
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Hi, Larry.
Hey,
We're talking about
Gavin,
sin.
you talk too much.
Okay, I'll shut up.
Oh.
There we go. Much better. I think that will be better for many of us. I think that's true. I'm teasing you, my friend. I'm just teasing you. Absolutely.
We love everyone.
I'm just teasing you. I am so happy that you are still getting people to simp for you, Chrissy. I mean, I don't get it, but
I don't know.
very happy that you are. Very happy. It's amazing. Amazing.
I think it's less simping this episode, more just like angry comments, but it's fine.
I
I thought, hey,
First
let's
people to
invite a
simp
lot
her.
of people. What could go
She's
wrong?
like a high 7.6, I'd say.
Are you talking about me?
Who? Chrissy?
I remember before I got married, Gavin was shaming me for being unmarried. And then I got engaged like a couple months later. And I feel like Gavin always maybe thought that it was his doing. He had something to do with that.
I knew you were going to be successful a long time ago, Chrissy.
I'm the
I
reason
knew it
you're
a long
pregnant,
time ago.
First of all, I didn't do any. Frank did everything. I just laid there. So I feel weird when people are like, congrats on getting pregnant. I'm like, I just laid there.
Not
So
true.
thank
You're
you.
a Scorpio. You have to be. You're a freak in the sheets, a lady.
Oh God.
Stop this.
Oh boy.
I'm
what's
sure
new,
you're going
Larry?
to be a wonderful mother. I'm sure you are.
Oh shucks. Thank you.
I'm sure you are.
Larry, as a libertarian, where do you stand? And I think you also, I don't know if you're religious or a churchgoer. I would like to hear your point of view
I am
on
the squarest person you'll find, except for a Mormon, because I use caffeine. Other than that, the Mormons are the squarest they are. However, I think everybody should do as they see fit. If you're not hurting people, why the hell do I care? I don't mind at all. I think people should enjoy porn and sex work and all the things and the drugs and all the
What
things
if
that
you're promoting porn and it's hurting young people?
It is. I agree completely. And I have two daughters, one who is 19 and one is 13. And I knew that neither of them, I could not stop either of them from experiencing porn on their phones and such, even when they were teenagers. So instead of me trying to stop them, which never works, I had good conversations with them. And now they understand how things work. And my daughters are not boy crazy because they have a father in their life. My daughters are savvy, trying to get things done. My oldest one is in college. My youngest one is in high school. And they're doing just fine. And they have seen porn before. And they haven't decided to do OnlyFans or whatever the thing is.
Are you Puerto Rican?
Why are you insulting me?
Hey.
Why are you insulting? I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. No, I'm not.
Why did he try
do
to
you see-
stab you?
Yes, exactly. I stole your hubcaps. No, I do live in New York. Doesn't make me Puerto Rican. Do you not see the flag behind me?
Where are
See
you?
the flags
Yeah.
behind me? It is an
What is that,
American
German?
flag and a German flag because my
Yeah.
father was in the army overseas and my mother was German, and that is how I have this
You know what it's
beautiful
like,
skin tone
black
that I have
Puerto
now.
Ricans, when they don't abandon their kids, they feel like superheroes.
I guess I'm a superhero then because I've
Yeah,
not
you
abandoned my
are.
children. I'm a superhero. I love it.
Good work.
I love it. That's awesome. Yes. So no, I do think you're right though. Porn is another addiction that we're dealing with. I think you're right. It is hurting young men. I think that's absolutely true. And so was alcohol for a long time. And so was drunk driving. I think society has to respond to that. Society is in a very poor job of dealing with our young men in general. We are really hurting our young men, and we have to spend more time giving them more purpose, getting them on their purpose so they don't spend all their time watching porn. I think it is a problem, but it's a repairable one, just as drugs have been, just as alcohol has been, cigarettes have been. Vices can be problems. We just have to solve them.
Right. And you're never going to stop. You're never going to stop alcohol. You're never going to stop porn. All you have control over is yourself, your spouse, maybe your kids. That's it. And
but more importantly, people want to get high with their friends. Whether that high is sitting in a church on Sunday getting high together, whether that's running together, whether that's watching TV together, whether that's getting literally high together, drinking together, watching sports together. People want to get high with friends. That's just human nature. You get high the way you want to get high. I'm all good with that.
Brandi, your forehead is insane. You got to get bangs.
Hilarious.
hilarious.
It's called ad space. Thank you for noticing.
Like, just get.
Is that why you have a beard to hide your double chin?
Yes.
Aw, I like your.
No, that's
there we
absolutely
go.
what I do.
I think I have actually a very big head, and I've tried to have bangs, but it's no bueno.
Get bangs, Brandi.
I have bang one, just one. That's all I have. I'm trying to pretend to be Superman. It's not working though, but I'm trying.
Okay, I want to talk about. Oh, hello, Brittany. Venti is here. Oh my goodness,
Oh, I like
Brittany.
her.
Oh,
Hi,
long
can you
time
hear
no
me?
see, Brittany. Yes.
Okay, I have my headset on. I don't. My setup is still not perfect yet. I have to film for a video tomorrow, but it wasn't ready. So sorry for not being on cam. But
It sounds like Britney Spears a little bit. Like it's Brittany, bitch. Like that's what it sounds like.
Brittany has met my daughter, by the way.
Look at
And
this
so
dog.
have you, Chrissy.
Oh my god! Look at Brittany's
Oh,
dog.
Pooches.
Oh my goodness! I love him.
I like
She's
the
scratching
puppy
at my
head.
feet. She's like, excuse me, time to go out.
Oh, she's so cute. What is she? Is she like
She's
that
a
dog?
Pomeranian.
Okay.
She's a
Oh my
pom. She
god.
just has a little puppy cut.
She looks like a little bear.
She is a bear. It's Panda.
Oh my god.
She's really cute.
She's so
Thank
cute.
you. Thank
Gavin,
you.
do you have any pets?
Yeah, I got Leroy. Want me to get him?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Well, you guys have some new people in. It is time for me to bow out. I'll let you guys carry on with new conversation. It was a pleasure. Larry, it was very brief, but the rest of you, it was nice speaking with you all. And Chrissy, congrats on your 100th, darling.
Oh, thank you, Brandi.
My pleasure, y'all. Have
And
a
you
great
have a lovely forehead, by the way, which is wonderful for ad space.
You're gorgeous, Brandi. You already know that. Yes,
It's true.
Brandy, I don't know anything about you, but I mean, Melonie is my friend, but I do think it was wrong you coming in here and getting dog piled on. So
it was a bit much. That's all I was trying to say.
I got your back, Brandi. Let's
I'm
collab
fine, guys.
sometime.
Mwah. Thank you all. Have a wonderful night.
Take care.
Bye.
Love you.
Yeah, I only
think
caught a glimpse of that, by the way. I had like quickly put it on 2x speed and went back to the part where Alex Stein got kicked off, I think, and then Melonie
he didn't get
eventually
kicked
went off.
off. He wouldn't
Oh,
stop
he left?
yelling. I put him just back down in the waiting room. I was going to bring him back just to let him calm down for a second because Brandi was unable to even speak. If that's considered kicking somebody out, then I guess I had to kick him out, but I don't consider that kicking somebody out. I just
You're just a terrible person.
I didn't throw
Listen,
him
you're
out
a
of the
terrible
freaking
person.
stream. I just
No,
put
if
him
he
back
needs
down.
to one.
Yeah,
If he needs to use
And
one, it's fine. But
I
like,
tried
I'm just
muting him.
like,
He unmuted himself, and I let him go for a very long time. And so it's like it's hard. I want people to speak their mind, but I'm not doing my job as a host if I just sit here and do nothing and let one guest be completely piled on. Then that makes me look like I don't give a shit about giving everybody kind of equal chance. So I don't know.
This
You
reminds
can't-
me of the other time this happened a little bit, like with the last time with Alex yelling at me and everything. We're neutral now, like we're all right, but like I was surprised to see that type of thing happen again. But yeah, so I understand like why you have to mute people, like just from that experience before. But from what I saw, I didn't get to see the whole thing. Like Brandi had popped in. She was like popping up. I don't know what everyone said before she had joined the stream, but she was like, "Yeah, y'all are judgmental." Like that was the first thing she said. I don't know.
We
what
were
led to
already
that.
talking about like the
Excuse
porn
me,
industry.
Leroy's here.
Oh, look at Gavin's
Leroy.
dog.
Oh,
It's Leroy.
Oh, he
Look at
looks
that
like an
bubba.
Oreo.
he does.
He looks like an Oreo
Oh,
milkshake. What is
what
he?
a
A
handsome
Havanese?
man.
Maltese?
Is that a Rolex?
Oh, hello.
Yeah, it's a Rolex dog.
Oh, it's a
Rough
cute
X.
puppy. Oh, I like that dog. Aw,
Oh.
isn't this nice? We're showing our pets.
This is becoming a really nice show. What happened? I like it. It's good. This is good.
Dog show.
It's a pet show
That's
now.
what this episode should be called: Porn Star and Pets.
So we were already talking about porn, and then Brandi was in the waiting room because I was like, and I thought I was like, oh, I'll space the guests out a little bit, but I guess I didn't space everybody out enough. But anyway, and Brandi was like, oh, just bring me on, like intro me as like that whore, you know what I mean, like one of your favorite whores, tongue in cheek. And then as soon as she gets on, she's immediately getting piled on, like before she can even say hello.
hold on. She was the first one to speak though. She was like, "Y'all are judgmental." She came in popping off, so then that energy was kind of reciprocated. That's how I see it as someone who like skimmed through it, and then it turned into Alex like going overboard and like
Could
saying
Alex
too
have
many
been a
things
little
and
bit in
being
the
kind of rude.
cups this evening?
And
I don't, maybe. But I
Maybe.
get everybody wants to. Sometimes it can seem more exciting to make your point than to like listen and have a conversation. So I understand that impulse.
Well,
Is
I mean,
Brandi gone?
you don't have to agree with
Yes,
someone.
she had to go.
She had to put her forehead to sleep.
well, what I was gonna get at, what my whole point in getting at that and like skimming through it, I think Melonie was overall nice about it in terms of like how she spoke about it. I didn't get to see the entire thing. I saw like the most part of like the conflict, but my question is like we've had people who work as sex workers on all the time. I mean, I think Keanu does OnlyFans, right? Like
Exactly.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's not rare. It's not like
I don't know. So like, why did it go off in this episode? This is like a regular thing.
I don't know.
Well, that's what Alex does. He's one of the nicest men I've ever met, right? Right, Chrissy? I mean,
He's so sweet. I think he
Yeah.
just wanted he thought he was being entertaining, which he is entertaining, and
He
I
is-
appreciate him and I like his points.
I'm a
and I
big
think he's
fan,
funny.
right? And maybe he wanted to make a splash for your 100th episode, maybe.
Yes,
but at the
probably.
detriment to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it
just
seems
a little-
like it. It seems like it.
Or
But,
maybe it's just unrequited love. Maybe he subscribes to her OnlyFans and her porn, and he's just like, God damn it, I just love her so much. I can't stop myself from jerking off to her. Could that be the case? You never know.
It's just I just don't see. I don't think it's productive. Like you can have your beliefs, but you're not gonna convert Brandi love. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna get. You know what I mean? I think it's a few
No. I
times.
like Keanu's story. That's a far better story. I want to picture that. I want to picture him like mad and crying and like you know.
I love her so
I
much.
hate you. I hate you. I want to picture that so much in my mind. So I'm gonna go with her story
the
better. It's a better
boys.
story.
Yes, exactly.
better
Unrequited
story.
love. It just it gets men like that, especially And I love
And
Alex, and I'm just teasing, but he
It's a
could be
bit-
stifled in a way.
It's kind of embarrassing for me because it's like everyone who's on is someone who is a friend who I've worked with before, done streams with, either hung
Yeah.
out with in person and personal friends with. Like most of you guys were all like invited to my freaking wedding. Do you know what I mean? Like this isn't just like random whoever I can get. And then it's like I have a friend on, Brandi, and then like 3 out of 4 guests are all piling on, and it's like she's a grown-ass woman who has like gets up every day and feels good about herself in the industry that she's in. It's like no, and she's been shamed probably for decades, and it's everything she's hearing is not new to her. It's just I don't think she was expecting to come on my show where if she was excited to come on, she was like, what topics are we going to cover? And I'm talking about like I haven't gotten to a single topic. I haven't gotten. She came in and wanted to do a good job, and then she gets piled on.
I don't think it's your fault. I mean, I'm friends with Melonie. I'm friends with Alex, and I can see what people post on Twitter. And people have been giving Melonie shit on Instagram, and she's been posting it on her stories. People have been tagging and being like, "Oh, you're going to be on with the porn star." So it's been building up ever since you announced who was going to be on tonight. So, and then they were. I mean, I was checked out of the conversation since we started, but. They went on for at least 20 minutes talking about whores, and of course she listened to that. So to say that she came in hot, it's like, well, for me, like imagine if people were talking shit about Star Wars for 20 minutes and then I jumped on a stream.
Or artists.
Oh, yes.
Or like
my
anything
gosh.
you do.
So of course I'm gonna be like, oh, you guys don't like Star Wars or nerd. So I don't know, like I don't know, Brandi,
Yeah, but
I
that's different.
don't want to judge someone until I walk a day in their shoes, kind of thing. And it costs nothing to be nice. I have screamed at people on streams, but that was because they were making fun of my dead sister. Like that's the limit to where I get when I'm gonna argue with someone. So I don't know. Like I would have rather been on the whatever podcast. Like that's how bad this was. No offense, Chrissy. It wasn't your fault. But this was hell.
I just think your approach for what the example you gave is a little different. I'm not saying that warrants someone to be screamed at for like 20 minutes or whatever. Like I said, I watched the highlights of it. But the approach,
basically they're talking shit about it because they know they're going to be on with the porn. So Brittany, you going on a stream and then talking shit about whatever it is that has to do with you, and you know it's directed at you, and then you come on and it's like, well, I know you guys are talking about me anyway. Like that's what it came off as to me, and I'm just like, just
so
say
if it were me in that position, I wouldn't come on. Even if they were like doing that, I wouldn't come on being like, but name calling people immediately as soon as they answer, because that's the best way to make enemies. You're gonna just, if you hop on, go, hey, you guys are judgmental. Like even if they are, like let's say,
I think
like,
calling somebody judgmental isn't name calling. They were being judgmental, and
they were.
Even if they were, but I'm just saying in terms of like wanting people to like you, that would not be the move to do. And I'm not saying that also warrants the reaction either of like extensive yelling and stuff. But I have to say, like, I relate to Brandi a little bit, because that's kind of like how she felt is kind of how I felt when Alex went off on me and nobody was really believing me that I wasn't trying to start something. So I do understand how she feels as well.
Alex
and
is one of the
I
nicest dudes
empathize.
ever. I can't say
Yeah,
it enough.
Alex
He was like my buddy at
is
the
sweet,
content
yeah.
house. But this is his shtick too. I mean, I don't mean to call it shtick, but
all of
that's
it.
what he does. Like
He likes to make a moment. Yeah.
yeah, so I think he was like, as a gift to you for your 100th episode, here you go, Chrissy. I'm going to get really in the cups and make a fucking really insane awkward moment, much like I do when I go and dress as a trans person at the White House or whatever, what have you, that he does. I know it's not that, but
That is a very poorly wrapped gift.
yes, it was very poorly wrapped. It got a little untoward.
It would be like somebody coming on and like shaming Ann Coulter for supporting Trump at first or supporting Ron DeSantis currently. It's just like you shame someone for the thing they're kind of known for. It's like you're not going to start off on a good foot there.
No.
Well, how long was she in the waiting room?
Not very long at all. Not very long at all. I think
she wasn't really part of the conversation when they were doing that. But to her and her perspective, it probably seemed that way because she's watching it, right? But she's not able to participate, and then you put her on, right? So from a viewer perspective, I literally had to rewind and watch, right? So from my perspective, she's just hopping on and then calling people judgmental, and then that's when it really started popping off, and then all the other stuff subsequently happened.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with calling somebody judgmental, like everyone.
But it's rude, right? On paper. On paper, if you call someone judgmental on paper, it's rude. It is.
Well, it's also very rude to, without even knowing somebody or knowing their background, to be like, "You're a whore and you should shut up."
But it didn't start off like that.
Alex was like over and over calling her a whore.
Yeah, I mean,
unnecessary.
After she called everyone on the panel judgmental.
Well, no,
she didn't name drop her before she joined the panel.
Well, no, they were
right?
saying it about her before she even came on. That's the whole thing.
That's
Like
what
this-
I'm asking. Did they talk about her before she came on in regards to that topic? Because I didn't see that part. That's why I'm asking.
I know. I'm telling
I
you.
guess you guys can rewind.
So they did
watch it.
Yeah. Well,
I
everyone
watched the
knew
whole
that she
thing.
was going to be on the
It
show.
unraveled quickly. It
Yeah.
escalated quickly, which is great. It's a great SimpCast. I mean, I was,
Oh yeah,
I
I'm
was
loving every
thrilled and
moment.
enthralled and
Thrilling.
Well, I'm glad you like it, Chrissy, because it's like, this
I
is
was
supposed
being
to be like.
sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
I'm for real. I mean, it was highly
I'm
entertaining.
glad you're here, Brittany. I've missed you.
Oh yeah, it's been a minute. Gosh, I thought this was interesting. I want to switch topics to like our favorite. This is always a SimpCast. It's not a SimpCast unless we talk about our dear friend Clam.
Oh Jesus.
Yes,
Clam has been. We love Clam. We love Clam's takes. She's
We
been
love
doing
her
a lot
song,
of these.
her music career,
Yes.
her body, her face.
She's
We
been
love
doing
her.
a lot of these type tweets. Oh, and happy birthday, Pearl. It was Pearl's birthday, I think, earlier this week. She'll do a lot of these tweets where someone will just be living their life, post a picture of them looking cute, and she'll do quote tweet, like not appropriate for a wife and mother. And so I don't know how old this girl looks young. I just think it's funny. Someone who's not a wife or a mother giving advice on how to be a good wife or mother.
Yes. And also someone who says that you need to be a virgin to be married and is also not a virgin. But listen, I'm a big Clam fan, guys. So.
Is this inappropriate for a wife and mother? I think if you're going out with your husband, it depends. Like if you're going out on a date with your husband, why the fuck not? If you're wearing this in like going clubbing,
she's just mad that that's another redhead, you know.
Yeah, maybe who knows? Maybe this woman lost a ton of weight recently and is like, "Wow, I finally have a body I'm proud of."
She doesn't even have any cleavage. What is inappropriate about this?
The leg. I guess maybe it's all the leg. I don't know.
I bet American Airlines would let her on the plane.
I bet they would.
So
agreed.
Larry, do you think this is an inappropriate outfit for a wife and mother?
I think it is a completely inappropriate outfit if you just want to get clicks, which is what she always wants to do. This is just about clicks. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's just about clicks. She's like, wait a minute. I haven't had people click. I don't have any attention for like 3 seconds.
Oh,
what? I better do something. I need attention.
This isn't Pearl, though, right? No.
That's why she's commenting on it.
Oh, right. Okay.
It reminds her of what she could have been.
Oh, she can still be cute. She can still be cute. It's not over.
I agree. Everything is not lost for her. She still has time. We all do. We can all, I believe, in redemption.
I don't
for
support
everybody.
any of this. Like, she, you know what, guys? Like, I tried to help her. I gave good advice in that video when I said how she can improve herself. And you know how she repaid me? By giving what she thought were my nudes to Rollo Tomassi. This woman is like absolutely fucking unhinged, and she refuses to actually improve herself despite being supported by a multi-million-dollar family. She has no excuse to look how she does.
No, yes.
And she promotes about how women are only valued for their beauty, purity, and youth. Like, meanwhile, look at her.
Oh yeah, I mean,
and this woman could have been a virgin before getting married. You don't know. Like she could have.
And she also insults women all the time. Like as you said, like this is like one of a million tweets she's made like this, where she just like randomly, if there's no bigger point to it, she just randomly insults women. She's insulted women on SimpCast, calling them like mid post wall. Like it's completely fair game to insult her appearance, especially on things that are changeable that she refuses to work on as the spokesperson for how men only want pure, beautiful women that are young. Meanwhile, she's like single, at least in theory.
Right. And
yeah, well, I haven't been able to find a pure, beautiful young woman yet, so I am still a virgin because I'm waiting for that exact perfect, pure, beautiful young woman. Yes, I don't know how I have children. It's miracles. But yes, I'm waiting for the perfect, pure, perfect woman. I am still waiting for her.
Oh.
She's coming. I'm going to manifest her. Be fine.
Yes, and you'll make her come too, I'm sure.
Oh, Larry's he's a married man. How untoward.
Very untoward.
I always tease my wife, and I said, "I'm so lucky that I got you in your 30s, and you were still a virgin. It's amazing."
I think I have a joke in my set. Like, if you really want, no, I have an old joke about like a body count and like people who will shame women with a high body count. I'm like, if you want a woman with a body count of 2 or something, like get ready because that woman is 16 years old. It's an old joke. It's just like if that's what you want, like okay.
But they do want that. That's why she makes tweets like 16-year-olds are hotter than 26-year-olds.
She had to delete
them. Yep.
Honestly,
so
obviously meant.
Oh, but as someone who has been married now for 23 years, what I would say is you probably don't want to talk that much about your past. My wife and I got married. We were old. We were 30 when we got married. I knew her in high school, and then 10 years later we got back together. And so clearly we had some relationships with other people prior to getting back together. But we never talked about it. Like it wasn't a thing we talked about. We kind of like before each other, we were virgins. Like we knew we weren't, but it wasn't a thing we talked about a lot because the problem is if you talk about it a lot, you can get into areas where it becomes awkward. It becomes weird, particularly
it is awkward. It is weird. You don't have people live lives before they meet you, and it's like going out on a date and talking about your ex-boyfriend the whole time.
Correct.
Yeah,
not gonna work.
Which I did. I did that on my first date with Frank. I broke every rule, and for some reason, he still wanted to keep seeing me. But I was like
special.
I was like fresh out of that one, and
Yes.
I had a lot to work through. So
I was actually seeing somebody when I met my wife for the second time.
ooh,
Love it.
What
I
happened?
was. And that's why she was wondering why I wanted to become exclusive so quickly. She didn't know why. Well, I was seeing somebody else, so I wanted to end that. My wife. This is a true story. I met my wife when I was in high school. She was 16. I was 17. I thought she was the greatest thing in the world. She thought I was some guy. She was not impressed by me whatsoever, and I was still trying to go out with her. In fact, I literally got my friend who had a car to take us out on a double date. And my friend and her friend hooked up and we didn't. So I struck out twice. Then she was smarter than me. Like, so she went to college. I went to the Marine Corps. I was in the Marines. When I'm overseas, I'm sending her gifts from Japan. I'm wooing her, writing her letters. And she goes off to college and she sends me a note saying, you know, Larry, I like you, but I'm in love with some guy in college. And I thought, okay, I lost her. So I moved on. We didn't communicate in any way for about 10 years. I just said, okay, it's over, move on. I went on my life. And about 10 years later, this is back in AOL days, we got someone from high school, we had mutual friends, sent an email, and the email was a joke, and she saw my email address on it, and she said, hey, is this Larry Sharpe from high school? And I responded, yes, when are we going out? And the next weekend we went out, a year later we were married.
I love it.
So when I went out with her that weekend, I had a girlfriend. But if I had a chance for her, I'm like, okay, girlfriend's got to go. This is the girl I wanted from high school. So we went out on a date. And within a couple of days, I was like, look, is this going to be exclusive? And she was like, it's fast. I said, look, if you don't want to, let me know. She's like, no, Larry, I know you from high school. Yes, we can be exclusive. I dumped my girlfriend.
Oh, you were multitasking.
The monkey branch.
I had a girl who I liked, but it wasn't my wife. It was a girl I liked. So if she'd been like, Larry, a fling was nice, but I'm going to go off and do my thing, I'd have kept my girlfriend.
You should
have broken up either way, I think. If you were that wooed by someone else while you're in a relationship, I think either way it has to end because it means you're not actually into the person you're with.
Well, she wasn't actually into me either. We were both feeling similar. She wasn't like upset.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it was mutual. If that makes any
sense.
I
like Larry. You do make a good point. Like, don't talk so much about your past. Like,
yes,
I do really in the content. I mean, if I do, they get turned into jokes mostly, but I probably, if I look back to like my very, very early podcasting days, but I was working through like toxic, horrible relationships. And sometimes
it's cathartic to talk
you
about.
have to vent. Yeah.
Isn't that? Yeah. People like realness. I'm all about
real. I think there's a difference between you going out and kind of telling jokes about things that might or might not have happened in your past versus you sitting, in the bed with your man talking about what you did with someone else. Huge difference. I mean, that's night and day difference, right? It's a massive difference.
You don't want to get into like sexual, details,
Absolutely.
things that people,
Yes.
I wouldn't want to hear that. I wouldn't want to hear like sexual. I would get very competitive if I'd be like, oh, really? Okay.
Exactly.
You like
Yes,
that, huh?
yes.
Yeah.
But I gotta tell you, you make a valid point. If I want to get my wife a little bit bothered, I can always bring up a girlfriend. Just, oh yeah, it reminds me of a girl I had. What? And then all of a sudden, so
that's the
it
risk
can
you
work.
run when you get to know someone so well. Like what to say to piss
Yes.
them off. You know what to say to make them feel good. It's like it's nerve wracking.
Hot and bothered.
It's it's like they have such power.
Absolutely.
Use it for good.
Absolutely.
All right, boys and girls, I'm going to have to make my leave. I made Bisconti shepherd's pie, and I'm with him, and I don't want to ignore him any longer. But it was lovely. I love everybody here that was involved. Even you, Gavin, and your untoward forehead comments about Dearest Brand. Love you all. I'm doing Untoward Tuesday for Keanu Cast tomorrow.
Yes.
Listen to it if you want to. Bye, everyone. Goodbye.
Love you,
Bye.
Kiki.
See you.
Love you, Kiki. Oh. Okay, I've been ignoring all of your super chats, and I will no longer ignore them. And my God, you guys are really doing it up tonight. Thank you, David Chandler, for the red boy. This calls for a drop. Here we go. Oh no, it was on a loop. Thank you, David Chan. My God, this is too much. Congrats on 100. I see I have a doppelganger, lol. The shirt fits, and congrats on the future baby. Oh, thank you, David. Oh, Larry, I don't know if I told you I was with child.
I had a feeling as you said it like 4 times. I had a feeling.
Oh,
and then I said you'd be a great mom. So
gets
yes.
out of the bag.
No, I knew that was happening, and I'm very happy that it's happening. As I said, you will be
because you were watching in the bushes. I saw you peering at them.
I was like, hurry up. I was. Get this done. Come on. So yes.
Oh my God, get this done.
Come on now.
Yes. That would be creepy if anybody else said that, but you, Larry. Oh my God, Deadpool. This is unprecedented. Thank you. You get a drop. Thank you, Deadpool. Happy 100. Thank you, darling. Okay, let me try to go through some of these. A lot of them are not going to be relevant. We'll try to make them relevant again. Joe Flink, Chrissy, oversharing with Frank on the first date is a bit different for you as a comedian. If he knew that going in, he had to know anything like that could become part of your act is public domain.
That's a good point.
I mean, of course he knew I was. He absolutely knew I was a comedian. That's how we met.
I think also,
And he might not have thought that. He can easily say, well, that's not really true. She's embellishing that. He can always do it in his own head to satisfy whatever he might need to satisfy.
True.
Yeah, that's true. I think, okay, hear me out. I agree that generally, like, if it's just, and there's a time when it's inappropriate, is what I'm going to say. I don't think you have to literally never bring up your ex. I actually do think there's appropriate times to do it. One of those times being when the story is really fucking funny, like specifically when it's disparaging to the ex. Like, for example, like, I have an ex that ate his boogers. Like, that's hilarious to mention. Like, you think my significant other is gonna get jealous if, oh yeah, the person I dated ate their fucking boogers? Like, no.
Let me push back on that one, Brittany, and I will tell you. I think that you can bring it up, but I wouldn't bring up negative things, because as you bring up negative things, your significant other starts thinking, are you thinking negative about talking negative about her behind her back? When you're arguing and angry.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But in this situation, this person was specifically very abhorrent and very abusive. So there's context to that. It wasn't just randomly like, oh, all my exes are narcissists.
Would he eat the boogers on toast? Or how would he eat them?
No, it would just be like hanging at, he would just like dig. Okay, he would go and dig, like a little quick dig, and then he would just quickly put it in his mouth. Like very quickly, like 1, 2. And I was like, what the fuck?
Wow.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it is
Probably
weird.
save some money on snacking, I guess, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna blow through a
I
couple
had
of
an
these.
ex that cried because he thought I was making a joke about like guys that weren't circumcised. And then he like got in the shower and was crying. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, I'm not circumcised. And I was like, not as shocked that he was crying, but then I'm like, but yes, you are. Like that he didn't know he was circumcised.
Yeah, that's funny. See, like I think those stories have entertainment value. Now, obviously, it doesn't mean go randomly talk shit about all your exes online and like expose all of them. I'm not saying that either. I'm talking about the situation between like either an entertaining story where it's anonymous or like you talk to your significant other if it's like super entertaining and it's like a specific bad circumstance. So there's your nuance where people go cry about it.
I like nuance. I'm in. I like nuance. I'm in.
Russell, look, love clams, but pearls don't come from there. Thank you, darling. The spec 1, 2, 3, 4 Romans. Here we go with a verse. Romans 4, 1 through 8, Ephesians 2, 8 through 9, John 6, 9, 40, Acts 16, 3, 31, Blue 42. We're saved by faith in Christ's finished work alone. We all live in sin to different degrees. No one is good enough, so he paid the price for us. Thank you, Spec. Oh, Nerdrotic is here. Hello, Gary.
Hello.
Nice of you to show up.
I got very busy doing my taxes and taking a nap and walking my dog and watching a shit show. It was great. I was actually waiting for 30 minutes of no butthole talk, but damn, I just brought it up. So sorry. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Gary.
Hi, Chrissy. How's the baby?
Oh, it's in there, I guess. I hope. It's like the least. It's like the least of my worries right now.
I know.
No, baby should be top priority.
Well, not if there's other tragedy going on in your life, but yeah.
I understand, but
I
something to be
guess
happy about.
I don't feel that way because eventually I'll be able to talk about this stuff, but I can't right now. Hello, Gary.
Hi.
I know you missed a lot. A lot of people were like, "Oh, how are Gary and Gavin going to get along together?" But we didn't even have to address that.
No. Well, I was waiting for a good time to jump in because I don't really have an opinion on porn or anything else, and never found the opportunity. But now I can. How about that South Park episode, huh?
It was so great. And
Amazing.
Really, I was so bored. I felt like everyone hyped it up, and I watched it and fell asleep twice.
I agree with you. I think it's funnier. I thought it was going to be funnier, but I love the
memes are funnier than like actually having to sit through the whole thing.
It created a lot of beautiful
shouldn't
memes.
watch
They
it?
went soft at the end, but I loved it. They went after everybody, and then they went soft on everybody at the end, including us.
I saw the
I saw-
anti-feminist clip. That was funny. Like making
Yeah.
content on anti-feminist.
Well, I mean, just to put a chick in it and make her gay and lame, and then like Marvel follows up. There's a story about Blade was going to have 3 women in it, and
Yeah.
it was just hilarious. It's just the universe unfolding as it should.
I can't stand the bait and switch. I hate the bait and switch. They call it Blade, and then it's about everything but Blade. I
It's
hate the
everything
bait
they've
and
been
switch.
doing, for the last
Yes,
3 years.
for years.
Yeah,
Drives me crazy. I can't stand it.
and they're
I
still doing it.
I was mad at Obi-Wan because Obi-Wan was really about cool black woman Jedi.
Yep.
They should have called it
But
Cool
she
Black
wasn't
Woman
cool.
Jedi. I would have watched Cool Black Woman Jedi in a heartbeat, and I would have been mad. But
But
when
she
they
was
actually called it
cool.
Obi-Wan, I got mad at it. Tell me I'm wrong, Star Wars girl. Come on, tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong that she was cool. There was nothing cool about her.
Well, they were trying to be cool. Sorry. Cool. Black Jedi girl trying to be
She was
cool. Better.
If Michonne would have been in Obi-Wan Kenobi as that character, that would have been interesting. But
I
this
agree.
was just pain and agony in watching Obi-Wan and Vader and Leia get destroyed again.
All valid points.
Believe it
But
or not,
I do love these South Park guys because they are libertarian, which make them cool. And I've been telling people that college is garbage for years, and finally someone said it.
Yeah, that whole B plot was actually pretty. It was better than the A plot with AI and everybody showing up at the Home Depot. All the people with geology degrees and insurance brokers. You're making this Home Depot look jitty. I freaking died when that happened.
Great.
That was great.
So good.
I like that they shined a light on like just how much money guys with practical knowledge like plumbers, construction workers are, like how valuable that is right now and hard to come by.
Yes.
A good plumber will make more than your average actor on a Disney Plus show. Like a lot more. A good mechanic will make a lot more.
And they will then use AI to replace that actor, but that AI is not going to replace that plumber.
No. So, well, that's when the robots come. That's when we should worry about AI, is when the robots come to kill us all. That's
Well,
what
my
I
thing
choose
was
to worry
there
about.
was a very I don't like plot holes. There was a very simple plot hole in that with the oven door, which was both of the kids have phones and can go on YouTube and watch a tutorial and be like, "Here, Dad, here's how you fix it." And it could have been a boomer joke, which is where I thought it was going, and then it wasn't. And I'm like, every single one of these kids would have just pulled up a YouTube video, so that bothered me.
They also, I mean, in the form of the Star Wars critics, they just did Cartman writing letters, which was a funny joke, but they could have gotten a lot more with. They didn't want to mention YouTubers, though. They just didn't, and they also didn't. They weren't there to get into the nuances of either argument. They were just going for laughs.
But it wasn't funny. I have a dark sense of humor, so it takes a lot to make me laugh. But I was just, I don't know. I don't watch South Park a lot. I've seen 2 or 3 episodes, but the first one I watched was the Satan Critters episode, and that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, their
Which was
streaming wars
harder.
one is hilarious. I've watched a lot of South Park. I think they're great.
I've watched far too much.
Yeah. Thank God it's here because it's the only thing that cracks at anything anymore.
Yes.
Pretty sad.
The bar is very low. That's why I think Anna feels the way she does, is because like literally like people at this point are just like, please just make the main character the same race it originally was. Just make it the same gender and we'll be happy. So that's why everyone's like over glorifying like any little step in the opposite direction. It's like, finally, yes, oh my God. So it's like,
Yeah, it's like we went from the 99-cent store to the dollar store and we're treating it like it's a 5-star. I don't know.
Those of us who pay attention to it all the time, but the impact they had on the entertainment industry overall, this embarrassed the shit out of Disney, because Disney, believe it or not, they don't want people to watch us or listen to us. They have asked, Gina already said she was asked to unfollow people. She's not the only one. I've gotten multiple emails from people apologizing for unfollowing me. I don't care, but it's still a small circle. Hollywood's they talk to themselves. They don't give a shit about the audience. They've never given a shit about the audience. We are just there to throw money at them. They take us for granted all the fucking time. And it took something like South Park to meme them for them to recognize it. Will it change everything? No, but it does embarrass them. That truly does embarrass them. And that's how you get through. Mockery is the best way to get through to any ideology, especially when it's so fucked up. The fucked up ideology of Hollywood. If you make them, because they think they're looking good, because they have a bunch of people on Instagram. I'm not a big Instagram fan, but Instagram is a place where they use that as their defunct marketing research, and Twitter as well. And they think that's the real world. And when they get smacked in the face, they are truly surprised. We think they shouldn't be. We've been making videos forever, but they have really tried to put us into that like corner. Oh, they're just alt-right Nazis. And now they're like, oh shit, and it's gotten absurd. We're in parody world now. I don't know if it's a real article, but they're talking about another, gender swapped Robin Hood movie, like right on the heels of the Robin Hood show, which is a joke, so it's going to take them time.
You could have talked to Director X. That was a fun time.
Yeah. I saw some of that. I watched some of that. Dude, he doesn't want to be. He doesn't have. It's disingenuous, and he supposedly.
The only guy on the stream he would even listen to was Mark, because Mark is black. Like everyone made the same points, but all of our opinions don't matter. Only Mark's does. It was
it's good that he talked to Mark. Mark put him in his place.
Oh yeah,
quite a few times. It's good for Mark. That's what he should have talked to in the first place, but his channel wasn't big enough, remember? So, but he'd talk to anybody. That's the way it goes.
I think that South Park this is kind of knocking the doors down for more criticism, more, I guess, mainstream acceptable criticism, not just our niche YouTube world, but like mainstream criticism of Disney and the acknowledgement of what's been going on. Because if you look at the kind of the rant or the tweets that it inspired, at least in Gina Carano, I think she obviously feels like this is a good time to kind of like let people know, here's like an inside peek of what I had to deal with when I was working for Disney and subsequently booted out. I expect a lot more criticism. It's kind of like it's safe to talk about it now. That's what the vibe feels like. Yeah,
it's safe to pick on Disney now that they're falling. By the way, chat, I'm sick. That's why I'm not on camera. I feel like shit. So.
Oh.
And yes, I'm a boomer, chat. Yes, I am. But no, it's safe to do it now that they're crumbling and all of this is starting to burn. But it's you really wish they would have gotten there on like, hey, because it's lack of willingness. They could make a good Fantastic Four movie. They could still make.
But hold on, I got to give you some inside baseball here that some of you may not know. A lot of this is financing. This is going to be a little bit boring, but I'm going to give you some insight. A lot of this is financing. ESG scores are a real thing. 3 or 4 big banks actually run everything. Yeah. And if they want financing, they have to follow through ESG guidelines, or they don't get financing. It's very rare that they will use their own money. They want to be financed, and there's about 4 banks that are part of everything. And if you don't do it, you don't get financed. You don't want to when you're going to drop $100 million on a movie, you want maybe 10 million of that to be yours, and about 90 million to be somebody else's. So they wind up doing it so they can make those things happen. That's why independent movies that are not financed are able to do whatever they want. That's the reason why.
Yes, but even if you finance them over time, they eventually have to make some money. And if they keep losing money hand over fist, especially with these budgets, there's a lot of other factors. But as I've said in all of my videos, the foundation this is built on is that message that's pushed by partially financing, partially just having one-sided opinions in your corporation and forcing people to either be silent or forcing them out completely. And it's created this homogenous goop of woke shit that the access media will never call out. We call, and it's I don't mind calling it out, and I don't mind using the word woke or intersectional. I'll never stop until this shit stops. You know, if something's good, it's good. But the fact of the matter is, it's a conspiracy of dunces, because it's a lot of very dumb people, disconnected people in charge of a lot of money who think this is the right way to go. But yeah, the BlackRock, the head of BlackRock, I put it in one of my videos, the video's out there. He's out there saying we're going to force behaviors on people. That
100%.
They're like transparent about this.
Yes.
And, you know, they're really arrogant about it. And if you look hard enough, you can find the videos where they're talking about it all the time. So even something that I thought was a little conspiratorial in the beginning turned out to be absolutely true.
It's like the Alex Jones thing. Like everything that he says, aside from a few things, are turning out to be truth. But everything, even with ESG and all the woke stuff, like if you have a checklist that you have to follow, I feel like most creative people would be like challenge accepted, and you can still make something good with all of the woke shit. Look at Rent, right? Rent has chicks every single woke point. And it's fucking awesome. I mean, you might not like it. I watched it when I was way too young to watch it, and I loved it. And my favorite character in it was
because Rent was original.
I hated Rent.
Rent was original though, and Rent was made for a specific thing.
I liked it in Team America.
Person.
Hey, I have to hop off and make dinner.
And if you watch Star Trek also.
Bye, Brittany.
Bye, Brittany.
Thanks for having me on. Happy 100th.
Thanks, Brittany.
Brittany, good seeing you again. I'm talking to you.
Rent triggered me because I was like, everyone has AIDS, nobody's working, how do they afford rent? Like, none of it was believable to me, but I saw it as an adult after I'd already like paid rent to live in like wherever, and I just was
I was like 7 or something when I didn't know what AIDS was. I didn't know I mean, we had renters, but because my parents like owned a bunch of different properties, so like I understood the concept and like then like the squatting thing. But as a really young child watching it, like I thought it was good. I didn't even know it was a musical. But that's something that's an original story that fits all the talking points. But I found it entertaining. The original Star Trek, heck, any Star Trek aside from the new
original is the best. 100%. I showed the original to my daughter.
Well, yeah, you can take the woke checkpoint, and if you actually get a real creative person, they can say, challenge, accept that. I'm going to take those, boundaries and make it work and make it good. Just everyone's lazy.
But no, I think that there's a difference in this one, right? And this is because they were trying to create stories around it. And the one I'll give you from original Star Trek, if you remember the creator of the M5 AI, remember that one?
Yeah,
Dr. Daystrom, who in 1967 was a black scientist on TV. That was like, what? This is insanity. In 1967, there was a black scientist on TV. I agree with you completely, but it was done on purpose. There was a reason for it. But I'll go to another step that's interesting. The Road Warrior, 1979, right? 1970, The Road Warrior. That movie, the bad guy, he's clearly gay. He has a gay lover who was killed by one of the kids.
Why? Did he dress really well? How did you know he was gay?
Oh, trust me.
He literally had a gay lover. Who, literally on the back of his bike. He had a dude on the back of his bike who was his lover. Yes.
Kind of grabbing his leg. Yeah.
And nobody cared. I'll go one step further. 1970s, Billy Crystal plays a gay character mainstream on the TV show Soap.
Yep.
We were already doing it. We didn't require all this stuff. We were on our way already. We were already on our way.
Exactly. But they always try to say, oh, this is the first time it's ever been done before. It's like, no, it's you've never watched a movie if you think this is the first time it's ever been before.
Right. Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
I'm waiting for somebody to say Echo will be the first deaf female superhero in the MCU and completely forget that there was one in the Eternals. I promise you that's going to happen.
Oh, the Eternals.
They've already
Yes.
done it. I already saw it.
Yes.
I already saw it. You are correct. I already saw it.
Remember, Black Panther was the first black superhero, but Blade, all of a sudden now everyone's remembering him. Spawn, he didn't exist either.
Spawn, how about Deathlock? Deathlock the Demolisher from the 70s. Come
Yep.
on, he was also black. People remember him
He was
either.
in Agents
Yes.
of S.H.I.E.L.D. Well, they did a bad version of him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Love that comic book, by the way. Freaking love Deathlock.
But they weren't black enough.
We are going real nerd stuff, Chris.
Well, he was kind of
I love it.
Chrissy, have you watched any of this?
I've watched some of it. I've seen the Eternals. I have all the Happy Meal toys. On my...
That's right. You do. Oh, God.
Max?
Wait, what?
Have you ever seen Mad Max?
The movie where they're driving around in the desert?
Yes.
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 Not the new one, the old one.
The OG.
Oh. No,
It's actually called The Road Warrior. Mad Max was
well,
the
there's
first
Mad
movie.
Max.
There's
Yeah,
Mad
the
Max,
second one
there's
was
Mad
Road
Max 2,
Warrior.
which for America became the Road Warrior, and then there's Mad Max Thunderdome.
Wow.
You
No,
should
I
watch
saw the one where I was like, oh my God, their contacts must be like drying out. They're just driving in the desert and like
Watch the new
there's
one.
a pregnant woman and then everyone's like they're hanging on flagpoles. And I was like, it was,
Okay, yeah, Tom Hardy.
it was cool looking for sure. All right, I'm gonna blow through a couple of these. Elsa Barrett. Well, guess I'll be hitting the old dusty trail. Best of luck. Thank you, Elsid. Spec, Mel's wrong. She's not going to hell if she trusts in Christ, was my point. Happy 100. Hi, Gary. You and F&T got me through my long ALC recovery. Thanks.
Aw.
Oh, thanks, Spec.
Glad you recovered.
Sweet.
Hunter, when I first saw you, your hair was a red flag. Then my heart raised the white one. Oh, how poetic, Hunter. I don't understand it, but thank you. Jeremy, thank God Venti and Keanu showed up and Anna came back. Very untoward episode. Congrats on the 100th and the baby. Thank you, Jeremy. I did not plan for any of this to happen, by the way. People feel like this was a setup. I fucking hate that. This was just I guess I didn't realize I was booking because I feel like I'm always booking people that have different opinions on things, and it never ends in like an explosion like this. I just figured we could all like have a
Didn't see any of like
conversation.
Instagram posts leading
No,
up to it.
I've been I've been dealing with family stuff all weekend. Like I haven't been looking at all the posts. K-Max, Anna must defend saying John Candy's best movie is Cool Runnings. I feel Chrissy or Brittany or Larry might dispute this.
That's not what I said. So Hotep Jesus a SimpCast or two ago asked me what my favorite black movie was, and I said Coming to America, and then somebody said something about John Candy, and I was like, that was what I should have said was Cool Runnings. And then I was drunk, so I started speaking with a Jamaican accent, and then everyone was trolling me. So this is just a troll. But Cool Runnings is a fantastic movie.
It's a great,
Not John Candy's best, but yes, a cool movie.
I liked it.
What was he in where he was like, oh God, was it the first Home Alone he was in?
Mm-hmm.
Where he offered, or the
Yes, he
mom, or
was.
maybe it's where he offered the mom a ride back. Oh, we're going to Sheboygan. I'm touring with the polka band. Polka. Oh, that was his best work. That's when I first heard about Sheboygan. All right,
I'm
Almond
going to
John.
be in Sheboygan in a week.
Oh yeah.
A little over a
Ooh,
week. Yeah.
I've always wanted to go. They say women are the gatekeepers of sticks, but technically, can't we just hold them down and take it? Well, we try not to do that, Almond. We try to advise against that.
And there's some women that you try that, you're really going to get hurt. Just saying.
You have to make sure that they're into that first.
Yes. Consensual. It's
Probably
all
want to
good.
stretch beforehand.
Do lunges, right? Do all your exercises. Larry made Chrissy base. He belongs here. He's definitely part of my journey. Sounds gay.
Well, actually, you saw I was just on TV with our guy John Fusel saying, which we that's how we met. on
Fugel
Sirius.
saying that's right on what's it
Yes.
called? What was his show called? Something.
I don't remember.
Know.
But yes, that's where we met on that show in 2018 or 2017, one of the two.
Yep.
And
And you
I was just
exposed
on
me to
Dan Abrams Live
libertarianism.
with him.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I want
that
to
was
see
cool.
a video, your based journey with some stupid
Before and
makeup
afters.
music. Yeah. In the background going like,
You
yeah.
were much more of a lefty before I met you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Then
old
she got a
footage of
job
me at
and
a
paid taxes.
No, I turned her to the dark side.
I was
That's what it
turned.
was. I turned her.
You
So
sent me
join me.
a libertarian quiz, and I took it.
Yes.
Here's to 100 episodes of simping. Thank you, M8566. This felt like it was 3 episodes in one. Zato, I wish Rich Voss was here. I should have invited Rich. That would have been fun. Raislin Majer. Oops. Yes. Congrats on your 100th. The 100th and the final episode. Hello all. It was an interesting start. Thank you. We had a good run. Tsukasana, you're gorgeous and you're gorgeous. Thank you to whoever that's directed
Thank you.
towards. Russell Hall. Who cuts Gavin's hair? Asking for an enemy. Your luck's fine. Tusaka. Gavin, he left. Gavin, you're a prince and a prophet, and I wish I got suggested your content more. You have fascinating views. Also, hi, that Star Wars girl.
Hello.
Thanks. Sukasa. I can't pronounce anything. Yeah, I'm just happy he didn't take his penis out. Green.
Yeah.
Green Manalshi, thank you for the super sticker. I was fully expecting it. I had my hand on the buzzer the whole time, waiting for it. Joe F. Can't believe I just watched a stream with Gavin being the least controversial. Lol. Love everyone on here. At least they are all passionate about their views. That's true. That is a good way to look at it, Joe. A lot of passion and a lot of anxiety for me. Gillis, you kicked Stein and Mac. I did not kick Stein. I did not kick Melonie Mac. Melonie Mac left. And Alex Stein, I just put him in a little timeout because he wouldn't stop yelling. 200 Watt Studio, Brandi, stop claiming victim. You yourself call marriage a business. I have never heard her say that, but thank you for the super chat. Russell Hall.
And business is good.
Do anuses have lips? That's a great question. I'm not a biologist. Dave, thanks for the super chat. Gavin exposed himself on a general audience YouTube channel for far worse than a consensual porn or OnlyFans content.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
That is a good point. Russell Hall, speaking of the whole Dicks Out for Friday event, why would you not warm it up first? The rule is you get a half chub, not turn off the AC first.
That's another good point.
Oh, boy. Okay, so Larry, what we're referring to is Gavin was on an episode.
There were rules on this one. Okay,
it's only you.
Okay.
Gavin was on an episode of FNT, and at the time, and like for weeks after, I thought he pulled out like a fake apparatus, like a fake, like a Weenus or a Wizinator or something. And I feel like I'll never know the truth, but then maybe he had at one point had claimed it was his actual equipment, but we were all very shocked, and we all got really nervous because we were like, oh my God, is Gary going to lose his damn channel? Like, it was nerve wracking, and it was out of nowhere. And like Gavin is someone who does things because he thinks they're funny, not because he checks like what platforms you're streaming on, because he's uncensored. He's not on anything mainstream anymore. So he I think he's used to just doing whatever he feels like.
But I don't know why you would think that's funny. Like, why would you go, they're going to love this. They're going to just be cracking up over this one.
Well,
like,
why would you do that? A lot of people did laugh. So,
but that's not a good thing. They're supposed to be in awe. They're not supposed to be laughing, right?
Well, like I said, the YouTube, whatever bot they have, didn't see anything to recognize anything had happened.
It wasn't enough to show up to trigger any censors. Oh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Just look like a couple of pixels to the YouTube AI bot there. So.
Oh,
well.
He is Irish. Well, oh well. Legal Vice. Has anybody had any gunfights break out around their house recently? Oof, that's too soon for me. Thank you.
Oh yeah, that was Keanu, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh right, for Keanu, that makes sense. Jesus Davila, thanks for the super chat. Disregard all previous chats. Love you, Chrissy. Too late. John Kennedy, thanks for becoming a new member. My God, this must be what it feels like for you, Gary. I haven't let them pile up this much, maybe ever. Gigi. Hello, darling. Can we agree that you can be a good person and still do porn? I'd rather be a good person when off camera than worry about my public image when on camera. Brandi, big fan. Chrissy, congrats. Anna, much love. Hi from Exotica. I think this is an interesting topic to explore, but like I guess you can only have this conversation with certain people because some people get too upset about it, I guess.
I don't know. I'm just in the party of if you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. And if you're an asshole to me, I have no reason to be nice to you. And if the nicest person to me in the room is the one with the controversial job, they're the one that's being nice to me. So that's what I go by.
Yeah. How you treat people.
I think it's the part that bothers me, though. I worry. I know some people who are in the sex worker industry. The question becomes, many of them go in not knowing that there's not accepting or realizing that there are going to be social consequences afterwards. And then sometimes they get angry at society for the social consequences. And I'm not saying that it's right. I'm with you. I don't care. I mean, I have friends who are in the industry. And I don't care at all. It doesn't bother me at all. But there are going to be people who don't. It's like, if you're gonna go to evangelical church and you're gay, you might have some problems. Some people are not gonna like that. You should accept that as true if you're gonna be out and be gay, which I think you should be out and be gay. I live in New York City, clearly I do, but I'm just saying you should accept that as true. And maybe you shouldn't move to a small town where they might call you names. I'm just saying you should accept that is going to happen. I think some people don't. And that is my only issue.
I'm just in the camp of I'm nobody's mom yet. So I'm not going to tell them how to live their life because it's not my place. If they ask me for my opinion and my advice, then I'll give it. But it's not my place to lecture someone, nor is it my job.
Correct. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I've spent a significant amount of time talking to people and figuratively and sometimes actually trying to talk them off a ledge. Because when they sometimes go into this world, they lose so much of their support structure. And when you're in trouble and you lose your support structure, it can be a high price to pay. People will often think they don't understand that culture is often stronger than family. And it shouldn't be, but it is for many people. So all of a sudden now I need you.
The whole transgender
Same thing.
social craze. That's a perfect example.
Exactly right. Yes. They will, culture will be more important than family. It happens a lot, and it's people don't want to accept it. They think, oh no, I'm in trouble now. My family will now accept me. No, they won't. Their culture has told them no, and they're not going to accept you regardless of how much pain you're in. In fact, now you're going to be in more pain, and it's very challenging for people to accept that.
And I think the people who are coming from like the moral high ground, it's like they think it's their job to like correct everybody else, but it's like you can't just like you're not going to help somebody who's not asking for your help. It comes off preachy
100%.
and it comes off like you're putting yourself, like if all people are equal, then why would you put yourself higher than someone else? Like we get it. Like you feel how you feel, but it's like, I think it's just sometimes you got to pick your battles. And I think the time for that energy is maybe like with somebody who is clearly struggling or comes to you like, hey, I'm not sure if I'm not sure if this is the right industry for me, or I'm thinking about doing this, but I'm struggling with it. Or like there's a soul cost. Like you're not going to convince somebody who's like an industry veteran who's like been doing it for decades. Like, I just think it's it just wasn't the right time or place.
I look at it in my own way. My mom, I think I told you, Chrissie, was an addict, and my mom was a felon. And when she came out of prison, there were a lot of people who she thought was her friends who were not her friends, and family and friends who wouldn't talk to her anymore. I was really her only support structure when she got out of jail. And I saw it with my mom, right? At first, she had to accept what she had done. She had to accept what had happened. And once she did, then she was able to start moving forward. But it's just, I couldn't have yelled at my mom and made her not an addict. I couldn't have yelled at my mom and made her not a felon. I couldn't have yelled at my mom and made her better in any way, shape, or form. I had to just be there for when she was ready to get out of prison and to take her life into the right place where she wanted to go. That was it.
She had to hit bottom. That's part of it. I can relate to your mom.
I can do it. It's hard to watch people in your family who you're like, wow, your life is headed in such a detrimental path, but there's nothing you can do until they either hit that rock bottom or come to you and say like, hey, I need help. Like I need to get out of this situation or whatever.
Well, there's a point in your life, like when you want to move forward and you have certain things hung around your neck based on, like for me personally, based on my decisions and what I did when I was young and reckless and an addict and did my time and got out. And I I had to lie on applications. I lost friends.
Yep, I know
These
that
were
one.
my decisions, addict or not, disease or not. These were all my conscious decisions. And when I fully accepted that this is my responsibility, and I can't, if I'm going to move on, I can't really get worried about what people think. And this is life now. Just or not, I am a felon. I am an addict. People know this now. And, I've shared it openly. And when I accepted that and just, I'm going to move on with my life, people are going to think what they think. I'm going to do the best I can. That's how you can move forward. Kind of, I guess a long way of saying not giving a fuck, but still accepting full responsibility. After that, 100%. It's like, it's on them. Like, I can't do anything about it.
But you also find out who your real friends are.
Yeah, you do.
Right?
That's
falling down, you do find out who your friends are. Right? If you go into an industry that society says you shouldn't be in, right? And there are many friends I know who have gotten into trouble, particularly with firearms. I'm a libertarian. So with firearms, and I go, I don't care. So I don't care. People who've gotten in trouble with drugs, I don't care. Whatever, I don't care. Did you hurt anybody? Did you steal? No? Well, then I don't care. We're good. Doesn't matter. And where many of their friends have abandoned them, and no, doesn't bother me. We're all good. And I told my mom this one day at a dinner table. We're getting deep. Is that okay, Chrissy? We're a little bit deep here.
Yes,
Is that right?
please. We've been deep.
I'm sitting at the minute table with my mom. My mom is crying. And I said, why are you crying? She said, I feel so bad on how I failed you. I said, Mom, you and I are good. We're good. We're done. Any demons you have are your demons. They're not mine. When you slay these demons, they're dead. That's it. I have none. You and I are good. And she needed me to say that. She needed someone to forgive her. And I didn't know that's what I was doing then. I figured that out later, right? But she needed for her to get past it. She needed somebody to forgive her. I said, okay, I'll be the one. I'll be the one to forgive you. And it really helped to move forward.
That's good. This
Brilliant.
is like a meeting now. All right, Spectral Citizen. Happy 100, Chrissy. Hate the sin. Love the sinner.
Ooh,
thank you, Spectral.
I like that.
All right, let me go. Let's see. I never know what to call you guys when you go by numbers. Neo. I have a drop for this. Hold on. Oh boy. Jesus had no problem hanging out prostitutes and tax collectors. But I wonder if he was secretly judging them. Plus, there's Matthew 21:31, where he warned the Pharisees, tax collectors, and prostitutes will get into the kingdom of God before you. Ooh. Well, that's nice.
Yeah, I can say I hate the IRS more than I hate anyone on OnlyFans.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Very libertarian of you.
Yes.
Well, if you saw how much
I'm infecting everybody, Chrissy. I'm infecting them all.
No, I've been infected since I had to pay taxes. I'm just like,
oh, good. Good.
Like, the amount that you're charging me based on the amount that I make, go fuck yourself. And I don't get anything. It's so irritating.
And you get nothing for it. Exactly right.
We get
you
wars.
Do get unnecessary
Well,
wars.
you get to pay for
wars.
You
Yeah,
get to
that's
pay
really
for bullets for
fucking cool.
Ukraine. That's something.
You get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We get wars and we support overthrowing governments. Really awesome what our money goes towards. Really excited
I
about
wish
it.
we could pick. I wish it was like you had your choice. Like, could this go to a dog shelter or could this go to Ukraine? Like, it would be nice to have
I know.
some.
You know what, Chrissy?
How about my fucking roads? That,
Yeah.
like maybe that. But
It
that's
should be
about
like
it.
car insurance. Do I want full coverage or do I want liability for myself?
Right.
There we go.
Yep.
Do you remember I had that policy when I ran for governor in New York? It was
I remember.
every single person at the end of the year when you're going to write a check to the government, you have a choice. You can take up to $500 of that. And instead of going to the government, you can give it to a local nonprofit. If it's in your county, double to $1,000. Decide what you want to give and who you want to give your money to. It is a much better way of doing it.
You know, I'm fine with paying for roads and our military. Aside from that, absolutely not. If you break your leg, you pay for your leg, just like I have to pay for every single one of my toes I've broken.
Oh. Alan, thanks for the super chat. Oh, guess what? Guess what I have? Guess what I have? What do lesbians get late at night? A deep fake. They use TPUSA made right after. The sad part is they never get a pearl necklace. Okay, I don't really understand that, but thank you. I'm doing all the orange ones. If you can if you can tell. Anti-pattern. Brandi is right. Groupthink is dangerous. Congrats, Chrissy, on 100. Didn't know there would be fireworks. I didn't either. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I was just trying to discuss is the groupthink aspect.
You know what? You had the crazy debate in the beginning, the screaming match a little while after, and now you went from that reflection, nerd talk, and now chill.
Look at that.
Yeah, crazy.
We have
roller coaster.
everything. Tune in and drop out. If you take a 10,000 foot view of pornography, it's a net negative for our society.
There's
everyone
been since the beginning of fucking time, so that's never changed.
Yeah. I mean, that's
Cavemen have been drawing pornography on walls since before the Ice Age.
the first thing that was painted on a cave wall was a dick. Okay, probably it was just a dick drawing. But
yeah, but he is right, but for the wrong reason. He's right
Yeah.
because it's illegal. If it wasn't illegal, he would be wrong. He's right
Mm-hmm.
because it's illegal, which puts women at a terrible spot. It puts women in places where they shouldn't be.
A free society is a
Prostitution,
dangerous
I think, is
society.
illegal.
If you truly want a free society where we are free, they're going to be dangerous because that would be a less regulated society, which I am absolutely for. And porn is part of that, and it's a choice. It's a choice. You can say, I could go get high tomorrow. It's a choice. It's a choice.
But I do want to go back to what I did bring up, though. It is currently a problem for young men. But again, there was a time we had problems with drinking and driving. Times we had problems with other things. We've had problems in the past with many things that come into our society.
We have a giant opioid problem in this country right now that's out of control. And we have a lonely men problem in this country and throughout the world, too. That's not being taken seriously.
Right.
Loneliness, depression, because we're so hyper-focused on 0.034% of the population that's going through a trend right now. We're ignoring, men and women who are extremely lonely.
Veterans, all sorts of problems.
And forgotten. And I wish I had a solution for that. And we're seeing this goes way back. We're seeing a lot of men being completely wasted like they're fucking disposable in this country. I sat in prison, and the first thing I noticed is there's a lot of black guys in here. It's majority black guys. What is that systematic? Is it the Democrat Party keeping somebody on the plantation? I think the answer is all yes. Yes, whatever reason, there is a large group of men, black, Latino, white, who have no hope, and they're given no hope. And we need to show them hope. And usually that gets through a mentor or a dad or the nuclear family, which has been eroded. There was a strong black nuclear family that was eroded, was the late 50s, 60s. That was eroded, right around that
late 60s.
Late 60s, yeah. That got completely decimated,
Colin Powell wrote a book called My American Journey. He wrote it in the 90s. And he said something which is controversial then. He said he would rather have Amos and Andy on TV than cops. He said, even though Amos and Andy was racist, at least it showed a black family. He said cops just showed black men being arrested. The war on drugs has done more damage to the black family than anything else. It's not even close. The war on drugs took one-third of black men and put them in prison, which you can't be in a family. You can't get a job. The women don't respect you anymore. And now men come out, to your point, having no hope. What do they do? Back into violence again, back into the same thing. There's no hope. Why bother? They think that prison is their life and they get a vacation on the outside and they go back to prison again. That is their life. That's all they know. So I think you're completely correct. It has trashed everything. Imagine, if you would, there's no war on drugs and there's no, that means there's basically not much gangster rap either, because gangster rap was based upon the war on drugs. There's much gangster rap.
Switch to something else, because I'm in the opinion that everything should be legal, and it's up to you to control your own life. Like, it's your own willpower. Like, if you wanted, right now, I could go out and buy crack, right?
Yep.
I don't even know how to do crack, but I could go out and buy it. It's not
100%.
legal, but I can go get it. So if you just make it legal, like pot, I can go down to the dispensary now instead of going somewhere else.
It's my point. There should be no war on drugs. If you want to do drugs, you can do drugs. It's fine.
right? Because
What
they're
I'm
going
saying is
with
the
guns.
war on drugs is actually a war on black and brown entrepreneurship. That's really what it is. The war on drugs is a war on black and brown entrepreneurship. When they hustle, licensing is a war on black and brown entrepreneurship. The government has had a war on black and brown entrepreneurship for years, which is why when other people come from other countries, they explode because they're entrepreneurs. You guys know that the most wealthiest immigrant class used to be the Chinese. Now it's Nigerians. Nigerians, in case you didn't know, are black.
Because
And
we
when they
keep
come here-
falling for their telemarketing scheme.
That's the thing. They're all princes. We
That's
keep giving them
entrepreneurial, okay?
Exactly. That's the problem.
It's all life is
they
full
come
of
here and they
choices.
start businesses.
Hey, quick note, little bit of trivia. I bet you didn't know this. Anybody who's been to jail knows this. Cops' most popular show in prison and in jail.
Not
By a
Tiger
long
King.
shot.
People are in it. Like,
yeah.
it's
No,
like,
That's me.
It's
That's me. Yes.
I mean,
Wait,
it's been a
that's really
minute since
funny.
I've been
Gary,
in, but everybody
you ever
watched Cops.
were you on it, Gary?
Was I on Cops? No, thank God. No, but I think the
Wouldn't it be
reason
great
they
to
like
get
to
a
watch
TV
Cops
credit?
is because, it's just familiarity. I don't know. It's like, look at that dumb motherfucker. And we were all those dumb motherfuckers. It was pretty strange.
I have never seen a single second of Cops.
Oh, I've seen
It's
a lot.
iconic. You must.
Well, I grew up, we
Yes.
didn't have like a TV channel. Like we had to either go to a friend's house to watch TV or like get the VHS of it. So
I feel that way about cable. I get very triggered when people talk about like all the cable shows they watched growing up. And yeah.
Well, you couldn't afford it?
No, yeah, we just didn't have. I always thought it was this like super expensive thing that like
I know
cable-
now you look at prices of things and it's like my mom
Yeah.
wouldn't buy $15 Razor scooter.
I'm like, I couldn't have my own sheets. I had to have hand-me-downs. What the fuck? Like, but whatever. They were like,
I slept on a mattress on the floor. Like I never had furniture in my room growing up, and now
No.
that like my mom has no kids in the house, she redid the house and was like, "There's furniture in my old room that's the guest room." I'm like, I slept on a mattress on the floor. My clothes are in a pile in my closet.
but also I look back and I think it's amazing that like my parents had 3 kids and my dad was making like as a landscaper maybe 20, maybe 30K a year, and they were able to they got a house and had 3 kids. Like I would have been too scared. Like
My
to
parents
do
got a
any of that.
cave, and we painted on the walls when we were kids. Yeah. Before
Back
the
in
wheel.
prehistoric times.
Yeah. It's really cool. Dinosaurs. We rode dinosaurs to work.
Gary, are you really going to go to Egypt?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so jealous. That was
When are you
so-
going?
February.
Wow.
Gonna
That's
go
cool.
tour the pyramids. It's bucket list stuff. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's cool. Are you gonna?
You can go. It's a tour. It's a trip. I'll tell you
I
about it.
was thinking about it, but I mean, I'm getting married in February, and then
Oh,
Congrats.
we're gonna go see
Congrats.
Amazon in Brazil. So I'm like, maybe are there pyramids in the end? Well, I'm sure there are.
Yes,
but,
there are. They're finding more all the time.
yeah, but I
Yep.
don't know like the part that we're going to, but I will eventually. I'm just more of the person like I'm a tiny girl. I don't really feel comfortable going to like a Muslim country right now. You know, like I think you would be fine. Me, on the other hand, I don't know. I saw Taken, and I'm kind
Not
of
by yourself. Yeah, don't go by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not worried about getting kidnapped. I was going to kidnap my 54-year-old ass, but
There.
yeah,
You're
it's
like-
we got to be cautious. But the tour we're going through, I mean, has guards and everything. Like has private guards and stuff.
Okay.
So
Yeah, the Egyptians
wow.
care
you pay
tremendously
off the
about
right
tourism.
people. Yeah.
Thank you,
Yes,
Elton.
yes.
Oh my God, what is this like? Early 2000s rock hour? Or
We could. Just had red in it. Got picked in the drop.
cool.
My God, thank you so much. Too much. 100 for 100. Congrats, Chrissy, on 100 SimpCast. Alex and Gavin on one stream. It might end up being less. Well, you were right. You might have been right about that, and you sent that in at 10:30. So you saw the future. But thank you, Elsit. K-Max, what is Ann Coulter's prediction for 2024? Should we all move to Florida? It seems the political genius. It seems the political genius comes from there, and every other major state or city in the country is a woke stranglehold. I'm going to pass this question on to Larry because he's the next most political person in line.
It's probably true. But yes, I have a feeling I'm gonna give some of you people who are Trump supporters I think I have some bad news for you. I think he's going to start to wane coming up here. I think the constant attacks are going to make him weaker. I do think he's going to be weaker. I had a woman on a show on News Nation the other week. She's a Republican strategist. She thinks there is no path to him winning. And more Republican strategists are starting to think that there's no path to him winning.
The polls, though. The polls, Larry.
The polls now are good for him, but the problem is he's going to be in court all this time. He can't. What Trump does best
that doesn't hurt,
is get in front of people and motivate them and yell and scream. He's great at that. The less time he can do that, the more time he can be there. And the vultures are already around him. The establishment has never liked him ever. The people love him. The establishment hates him. If the establishment can find a way to get rid of him, they will. And here's what's going to hurt him. You're going to see if he loses ballot access on even one state, how they're trying to get him is on the 14th Amendment. They're trying to get rid of him off of the ballot. Colorado and like 4 of the states. If he loses even one of those, the RNC will step in. Watch me. I'm always writing these things. The RNC will step in and go, look, we can't have a president if he can't be on the ballot, blah, blah, blah.
And then the Republican Party ends.
Say it again?
It's over. Then the Republican Party ends. It'll be over for them.
Some people are actually saying that. That is actually, believe it or not, that actually is a piece where they'd have to reboot the entire party. There are some people who are actually saying that. I don't know if it's true, but your thought is not, you're not the only one thinking that.
Yeah. I mean, he's so far ahead in the polls. It's clearly what people want, you know.
Well, the advantage we hope is that they'll actually make an actual third party that will be functioning. I can only hope that will actually happen. I don't know if it will, but I mean, being Libertarian, our party is a disaster. We never get third parties that work well. If it does happen, I hope it's a decent third party. That's all I can hope for.
What would it take for that to happen?
It would take Trump to actually run on his own third party, right?
Okay.
He's a personality that could actually do it, right? You need a big personality. RFK Jr. maybe. I just did a show on him too. RFK Jr. has a chance at actually building on an actual third party because he's got a big personality. He maybe could do it. Trump could do it for sure. You need somebody with a massive personality. Enough people to go, I don't care about left versus right. I'm behind this person and I'll vote for him no matter what. And I think Trump has that clearly. RFK Jr. maybe. I think we'll figure that out in the coming years. Coming months if he has it.
Interesting.
But I do not think there's a pathway for Trump to win. I don't think there's a pathway for him to win. Again, there'd be one other way. If he gets it into if he actually wins some electoral votes, and some states are completely pro-Trump, like Wyoming will vote for Trump no matter what he's on, right? Doesn't matter what line he's on. Utah hates him. Utah loves Republicans but hates Trump. So they will vote for any other Republican. So if he wins enough states, if he goes independent and he wins a couple of states, it goes into the Congress. And the Congress will have to pick somebody. And the issue is there are a lot of people who will lose their seats because their people love Trump. So they would actually vote Trump into the presidency for fear of losing their own seats because the people, again, love Trump, even though the establishment doesn't. So he would still have a pathway in theory if he could do that. I'm sorry, I went kind of geeky, but
no,
yes,
that's good.
Kind of is my world.
Geeky is good. EHEF, these are from the beginning of the stream. And thank you for going hard on the vaccine mandates. I'm 34 and I will be needing a third heart surgery in a year due to a birth defect. The vaccine is a bigger risk to me than the virus. People with your reach may have saved me. Thank you, EHEF. Yeah, let's hope they don't bring those back. Ooh, thank you, Aaron, for the pink boy. This is unprecedented. A wedding, pregnancy, and 100th episode. What an amazing year. Congrats, Chrissy. Thank you, Aaron. You're a doll.
It has been a crazy year.
Really effing crazy 4 months, actually. This is another pink one. Thank you, Chris. Chris Benoit, Gavin, my son was a fan and looked up to you after your FNT. Oh, I should have brought this up. I just didn't see it. After your FNT spot and confirmation of a micro, no son of mine will bring shame to my family by listening to a man such as a small stature. I disciplined him. My wife felt the shame too. I did what I had to do. Oh, that's funny. Thank you, Chris. Oh my God, this is too much, you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Raider. $100 for the 100th. Congrats. Thank you, Raider. You think that's funny, Gary? You think that's funny?
What, Chris Benoit putting in a super chat?
Yeah.
Yes, it's fucking funny.
He always finds his way into the chat.
He always does from the netherworld. So yeah.
Yep. Okay, Fear the
It's Fear the Tardo, my favorite. Oh,
Fear the Tardo. Hi, Sissy Minor. Tardo herds say should put wax on boom boom hole. Use candle, but just make ouch. Tried to make hot caca, but more ouch. What Tardo do wrong? Lock it in. Yay. Gee, I don't know how to respond to that.
well, you got to do it in Tardo voice. You know.
Oh, it's just okay. I don't know any this person's
So-
lore.
Think
So
about like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hi, Sissy Minor. Tardo heard. Can't read this.
Tardo herd say should put wax on boom boom hole. Use candle, but just make ouch. Try hot caca. Try to make hot caca, but more ouch. What Tardo do wrong? Lock it in. Yay.
Oh, he's a special needs person.
Yeah. Well, Fear the Beardo is too, but so is Fear the
I would
Tardo.
say go see a professional. Fear the Tardo. Go to like a European wax or a reputable chain to have your short hairs removed. Oh, I already did that. Thank you, Aaron. Oh my gosh, Hunter, thank you. To the ma'am of the hour, Chrissy, who can't be woke because she never sleeps. That's true. And can't be canceled because she now has a child who's literally a man trapped in a woman's body. Oh no. That's funny. Yeah, I thought
Became
like
trans
maybe
and didn't even know it.
yes,
Look at
I'm
that.
trans now. I thought maybe having
You're
a
trans
guy,
now, yes.
a man inside me would make me more level-headed. Maybe eventually. Oh boy. Okay.
I
Okay.
can already see you're getting more level-headed, so it's
Oh,
actually
good.
working.
It's
Yeah.
working. Trent, congrats on the baby and 100 episodes. We shall simp for hundreds more. Well, unfortunately, this is the last episode, Trent. Great U.S. treasure hunt. Gavin, it puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. Thank you. Treasure hunt. Oh my goodness. There are so many here. Thank you guys.
Hose or squirt
Viking.
gun?
It was a squirt gun. Congrats, Chrissy, on the 100. Congrats on the baby, too. Don't say say congrats when it comes out. You guys are making me nervous. Okay.
That's what she said.
Zeke of the Dead. Congrats on the 100 SimCast, Chrissy. I'm the blind guy from Anime Matsuri this year. I remember you. Oh, I'll never forget you. I'm fully healed from my hentai blindness, but my hand was touching something when we met. I still have no idea what happened. Hail. Better off you don't know. I'm glad you're cured of your blindness. I don't know if it works that way, but thank you. Thank you, darling. Legal vices. Oh, it's another Bible verse. Matthew 7:13. Judge not that ye be not judged. For with what judgment
you can tell
ye
someone's
judge,
never read the Bible.
ye shall be. I'm like, is this a direct quote? Ye shall be judged, and why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thine own eye? I mean, it's impossible for us to not judge other people, right? Just not say it out loud, I guess.
But there's a difference between judging somebody and dehumanizing them, and also judging the behavior versus judging the individual. Those are two differences, right? I can say I don't like the fact that he did X or she did Y, or I can say, oh, now he's this or she's that. Two different things.
Like giving someone a permanent sentencing. That seems a bit
Correct.
harsh.
Yes, and assuming because they did an act, they are now a certain type of person. No, you don't know why they did the act. You don't know what they were thinking doing the act. Doesn't mean
Well,
they're a bad
also-
person anyway.
You don't know somebody's circumstances and why they're in the place that they are. So
Absolutely.
yeah, like go
100%.
watch Les Mis and find out, why she does the things that she does.
Oh,
Absolutely.
thank you, Keanu. Chrysanthemum, happy 100th episode. You're an incomparable and talented host and human. You handle everything with grace and a hell of a lot of moxie. Bravo to you, love blood. Oh, Keanu, you didn't have to send that in. You were just on the show. Sebastian, hey, Chrissy, it was
I
great
want
being
shepherd's pie.
Yeah, save me a piece. It was great being your
Yeah.
bellhop in Minnesota. Happy to see SimCast reach the century mark. Oh, yes, Sebastian, actually, so I bumped into Sebastian here at this hotel that I did not stay at because it was so fucking bad. Like it was called the American or something like that in Minnesota. And like I checked in, it's like there was dead bugs on the windowsill, there was like dandruff on the couch, there were these mysterious white stains in the carpet, and this was like the nicest room in the hotel. The furniture was so dingy, so I checked right out of there to a different hotel, but it was good to meet you. It was bad.
Did they at least give you your money back?
Eventually, yeah, I had to call whatever third party I booked it through. I don't know if it was like Kayak or something, or Expedia. Hello, Junior. Congrats on the 100th episode. SimpCast is one of the best shows around. Oh, thank you. Except for maybe tonight, but thank you. Thanks, Junior.
There's only one show that might be a little bit better depending on the day.
Is it The Sharpe Way?
That's the only one. That's the only one that might be, maybe. Depends on the day. Sometimes.
It's a great show. Oh, it's Fear the Turtle again. Reggie is a professional gamer. Should Reggie put wax on? Okay.
On Tardo's boom boom hole. P.S. Hope Sissy Minor's baby not special like Tardo. Lock it in. Yeah.
Oh, I hope that too. Thank you.
Sorry.
No.
I encouraged it. It's my
It's okay. It's okay. Russell Hall, Anna's mattress on the floor also had a mysterious wet spot that smelled like kind of funky. I don't know if you know that for sure, Russell. Were you there?
No, I've told the story. I walked in my parents doing it in my bed. I know.
Your bed?
Yes, their excuse was the baby was in their bed, my sister was in her bed, and I was on the couch. So mine was the only one that was
Your
open.
bed was empty. Sounds good to me. Checks out.
No, but then like I remember my door because I woke up in the middle of the night and I went to go open my door, and remember it was closed, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then when I opened it, my parents were like, "Why didn't you knock?" And I'm like, "This is my room."
It's my room.
How do you think you got here, kid?
Dude,
Now get
I
out.
feel that because I could not. I always shared a room with my sister growing up, and like if we locked the door for any reason, it was like seen as so suspect to my parents. Like my dad would be in a rage. So it's like not only did I never close my door growing up, like it would always be open. It kind of had to be because of like you always were just afraid of being yelled at. So I had like literally no privacy until college. Like that was the first time in my life I had my own room just to myself.
Do you guys remember those doorknobs where to lock it, you had to push it in and turn it?
Yep.
Like there wasn't like a little lock on it.
Yeah.
That's what we had. So if we ever got in trouble for locking our doors, it's like, oh, I just shut it wrong.
Wow.
I gave my both daughters a lot of privacy when they were little and a lot of property rights. Like I was never a parent who was like, well, just share with your sister. I was like, no, that's your sister's. That's not yours. You have to ask permission to use it or not. And my wife wasn't that way, but I was very much that way. And now I found my daughters now are more respectful of other people's property and privacy because I gave them so much of it. They really like my daughter's in college now. She like knocks on the door before she goes into the dorm. She like I never walked in on my daughter ever. I always knocked no matter what, every single time. I never, even when they were little, 6 or 7, I was still knocking on the door before I'd come in. I gave them a lot of privacy and a lot of property rights. And they do the same thing for other people now.
Were you like the youngest or middle sibling?
I'm an only child.
Oh.
You don't seem like it though.
You
You're
know?
very well adjusted.
Say like that seems like someone that was like the youngest sibling, like that had to deal with their siblings taking all their crap all the time.
No, just who I am, I guess. I don't know.
He's just a good guy. Okay. TC, Chrissy, your Twitter is always without fail the funniest. Oh, shucks. Thank you. Congrats on your success on 100 episodes. And it's always awesome. And love Gary's channel too. What
Thank
about
you.
Larry? Oh, thank you, TC.
No one, my channel's politics. No one watches my channel. It's not, my channel isn't funny. My channel is depressing.
Russell, to be fair, a lot of those bullets were sent over to Ukraine, probably found their way over to other places like Israel.
Yes, I do shows on Ukraine and such. Yes, that's what I'm doing on Ukraine bullets. Yes, my show is very different.
I thought that was over because nobody's been talking about it.
Yes.
Ukraine has been canceled.
I know.
It will
On
be, by
Disney
the way.
Plus.
Let me give you
Yeah.
my prediction on Ukraine real fast.
Oh, yes, please.
Ukraine. By the way, thank you for that last chat. I appreciate you agreeing with me on libertarianism. Within about a year or so, I think Mr. Zelensky is going to be stepping down in some way, shape, or form, and there will be a peace treaty. And Russia will control at least 3 out of 4 of the areas that it wants control, and Ukraine will be a puppet state.
Wow. Is he going to go back to acting or comedy? Like back to
Assuming
showbiz?
that he's alive.
Oh. You think
Yes,
he's
he
not
probably
alive?
will. Assuming that he's alive.
A mansion in
Well,
Northern California, probably.
He should. If he's smart, he'll exile and come to America. If he's smart, he'll exile and come to America.
He could live with Harry and Meghan.
He should.
He could
That would be a
should move-
good deal for him.
Oh, that way, or move in with Sean Penn. Either way, they could.
The problem is he has spent so much time saying he's going to win and they can't win, and he's taking so much money and is corrupt. And now, when we're not going to pay him because we're putting all our money into Israel now, and Americans don't want to put any money into Ukraine anymore. So without our money, he can't win. But he cannot be the one to do the peace because they'll get rid of him. So he has to find a way to go someplace else.
He might.
Oh, Ukraine's on Peacock now.
Ukraine
It's on
is moved to
Peacock.
Peacock.
Done. That's what
I've
happened.
been misinformed. It's not canceled. It's moved to Peacock.
I'm so
That's
I
what
don't
happened.
follow politics, but I thought it was a deep fake, and it was him, and he used to be an actor or something. He
Yes.
was
He was comedian.
Yeah. He was
And I'm
comedian.
like, how is this guy the president? Like, is it a? I don't know. It makes me glad I don't follow.
Ronald Reagan was an actor.
I know he wasn't doing gay commercials where he's dancing in leotards. That's why I was like, is this a deep fake? And then
Maybe
I
it was
noticed
an awkward one.
I noticed
Ronald
his
Reagan did westerns with
got into
monkeys.
this after we started sending the money.
Ronald Reagan did westerns with monkeys, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Like he have a chimp with him when he's doing like that's what he was doing. So yes, no, Zelensky was actually, but not he was the peace president. I'm not joking. He was the peace president, and then once he won, he became the war president.
That's worked out really well.
Yes,
I think that they should all, like the leaders of the country, just get in the Coliseum and fight, and whoever wins the war.
it'd be amazing.
Yeah,
That'd be amazing.
that
If
should,
Putin's good at judo. Putin would probably beat Zelensky's ass. He probably would.
it would be funny.
It would be funny. I'd watch it. I would.
I think the whole world would watch it. It's like the modern day Hunger Games. Like
I
I was
think-
watching the Joe Rogan episode with Elon and how Elon was talking about fighting Mark in the Coliseum. I was like, oh my God, that would break the internet.
Well, then we better make Joe Rogan our president then, or we're gonna be in trouble. Because Biden is not beating anybody in any Coliseum. He's not beating anybody.
He
Yes,
can't even beat a set of stairs.
that's correct. So Rogan 2024.
I'll look it.
That's
Dave Filoni's dog. Oh my God. You can
Oh,
type.
boy.
Hey, Anna, I'm willing to give you exclusive stories from behind the scenes at Lucasfilm. I ask only that you do one thing for me. Destroy me? I don't care how. I'm tired of my holes being violated. Oh, goodness.
I would never hurt a dog.
Yeah.
But apparently Dave will.
Oh,
You
no.
know, Dave Filoni, it's like, oh, what his story? It's ripping off something else. Great, cool. What else is new?
Yeah.
Star Wars is dead.
It's dead.
It's
Rest
very
in
dead.
peace. Super bass. Congrats, Chrissy. My wife and I have our first one on the way too. Oh, God bless and hail the fellowship. How far along is she? Congrats. See, it's easy for me to say congrats to other people, but I have a hard time. Like, enough
Accept
about me. Yeah, I do. I just don't feel like.
Because you're a hypocrite. That's how that works. That's all. No big deal.
Well, she's about to be a parent, so you become a hypocrite no matter what.
Totally
I have a
accurate.
hard
Yep.
time with praise. K-Mac, is everyone not in a good mood tonight? This seems like way too much fighting. Any fun Thanksgiving or Christmas plans? Something to like. I should have brought this up hours ago.
Yeah.
I just didn't see it because I was.
We've already decorated for Christmas.
Wow.
Our house has been decorated. Mrs. Nerdrotic was on that shit the day after Halloween. She was all
That's
over it.
That's
I
early.
decorate the shit for Thanksgiving. So I put a bunch of pilgrims and Indians. No one says anything to me. I'm like, I will not let, I hate Thanksgiving because I starve because I hate all Thanksgiving food. But I will decorate.
All of it?
What's wrong with you,
all
Anna?
Thanksgiving
How do you
food?
hate it
eat
all?
dirt,
How is
but
that
you like-
possible?
What?
Nothing.
Okay, now we're gonna argue.
Hold
Okay.
on.
Yes, now we're
How
gonna
do you-
fight. That's
not
it.
even
Now we're
stuffing?
fighting.
Even picky kids like stuffing.
What
Listen,
is your
everyone
damage, girl?
talks about how fat they get on Thanksgiving. There is not a single thing during Thanksgiving that I can eat, and I starve, and everything's closed.
Why
It's
can't
tough.
you eat? What kind of diet are you on?
I'm not on a diet. I'm just picky.
If I take Anna and Brittany Venti out to dinner, it'd be the cheapest dinner I'd ever buy.
Yeah,
'Cause none of them would eat
it's
anything.
true. They get a glass of water each.
Well,
That's all they get.
Gary was sitting across from me at Comic-Con. We're sitting there, and everyone's staring at me because I'm picking the little sesame seeds off my burger because I hate them.
It's like you can ask for the buns without the sesame seeds,
So what do
but
you
you
do?
know.
You end up
already once. I don't know.
Anna, what do you end up eating at Thanksgiving then?
Nothing. I'm not kidding. And it's rude. I don't know when you're going.
Yeah, it's rude. Now you're making me mad now. See,
No,
this.
it's rude to take food like for yourself, because if you take something, you have to share it. So I'm like, fuck, what can I bring that no one else is going to want to eat? So all I end up eating is extra hot Cheetos because nobody else will
dirt.
touch them.
Nobody will eat dirt. You can bring a big plate of dirt.
It's funny.
And nobody else will
gotta
eat
say,
it. They're
I'm
all
guilty
yours.
of that in a way too. In my house,
Find out where I am if I need to.
I
Like,
did
this-
want
what's
everyone
in
to eat
dirt,
my
right?
ice cream. So I would buy coffee ice cream.
I hate
because
coffee.
it was the only. Yeah, exactly. Everybody hates it except for me.
I
so
love
I buy
it.
coffee ice cream so that nobody else would eat my ice cream in the house. That's I
Wait, what's your
literally would do that.
favorite? What's your favorite coffee ice cream, Larry?
I love Jamocha almond fudge. That is my favorite.
I like Haagen-Dazs.
Yes, Haagen-Dazs. Oh, when straight coffee is Haagen-Dazs, correct. But when you do the mixes, the Baskin Robbins, that Jamocha almond fudge thing is just amazing. That's my favorite. But my favorite ice cream is actually chocolate. But then my kids and my wife will eat it, so I have to buy coffee so I have some ice cream. Yes.
You have to have weird tastes. Yep.
Yes.
I know that feeling. Oh my God! This was Berserker. Melonie is so boring. Thank you for the super chat. I don't agree.
I don't
She's not boring.
at all.
Melonie
I
is
like
not
Melonie.
boring.
She's
I don't
not
think she's
boring.
boring.
She is passionate, and I appreciate her takes. BYB, congrats on the 100th episode, Chrissy, and everything else. Quote, doing great so far. Thank you, BYB. Quad father, Chrissy is the dabble queen. Anne is my queen. I want to F Gav with his heels on, and great win. Alex, who was next? That's why I wanted to talk to Alex about his fight. I had so many plans. I had so many topics planned. I was going to talk about the immigrants. I was going to talk about Gina Carano's spicy takes after South Park came out. I was going to talk about Hassan Minaj, like fudging his stand-up material.
Who?
Hassan Minaj is this stand-up comic who he kind of came out and said, like, and he's won awards. He's had many Netflix specials, and he kind of came out saying, like, oh, these long stories about how he was treated, basically like people were racist towards him, like weren't actually true. And
he made it all up to say he did it because he needed it to do it to help out the people. He was being a martyr when he did it. He's made the stuff up, is what he said. Being a martyr.
How do you spell this guy's name?
Hassan Minaj.
Bitch.
I'll bring up this New Yorker article that I think spawned
HASANMINAJ.
Hassan Minaj, and he talked about it was his emotional truth, even though it wasn't real. Like these things,
emotional
didn't really happen to
lies.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a lot of
Emotionally,
money.
I'm a billionaire, so
There's
I'm really a billionaire. Emotionally,
There's so much money to be made off of.
Well, it's a grift.
Being a
It's the
victim.
very
Yeah.
definition of a grift.
Yes.
Wasn't really about it. Wasn't telling the truth. Those weren't anecdotal stories. They were pure
I
fiction.
have never seen this guy before.
Well, because he's a modern comedian, which are mostly milquetoast boring as fuck.
Extreme.
Dude, there's this midget comedian who's hilarious. He just
Don't
is
talk about Lila like that. No.
No, it's this dude. I walked into it was during a Jack show. I
Yeah,
walked
Lila's not a midget.
and I see this like tiny little dwarf dude, and he's like, not all accents are sexy. Have you ever heard like an Indian guy being like, "Ooh, hey baby," and like that's sexy? And I just about peed myself. But he's funny. Huh?
I wonder if I know him.
I don't know. He's a little guy, and he was. I was like, this.
How many midget comedians are there?
I don't know, but he was funny. And I guess he's the only little one because he was telling a story about like his brother's kids and how like they're more accepting of him being little than like normal people, I guess.
Was it Brad Williams?
I don't know.
Should I pull up the picture?
He's got a special on Netflix, I think.
Oh, it's probably him then.
Okay, now I gotta watch it. I gotta keep me up all night now. Okay, that's your fault now. When I can't wake up in the morning, it's your fault. There we go.
He's the only midget I think with a Netflix special.
Well, he was
Yeah, it's a short special.
from the little bit.
It's a short set. Yay!
Thank you.
Hey, continue. I have to pee so bad. Just
Go ahead.
nobody's
Somebody
listening.
said in chat that I was never in jail. I wish. Not true though.
No, I think the piece you mentioned about accents are true. The American ear, I remember because I was dealing with a British comedian once. The American ear hears things very differently. The American ear hears British accents as intelligent. It hears German and Russian accents as harsh. It hears Latin accents like French and Italian and Spanish as sexy or attractive. And it hears Asian accents as funny. It's how we hear. It's what our ear hears. And I think it's because of our culture that we've had in the past. Our culture through American culture, the Asian person was always the funny sidekick, right? In all the TV shows that we've had since we were growing up in our culture. So the Asian accent becomes funny because we see them as the funny sidekick from our culture for so many years. And you might know this, the old idea that Bruce Lee couldn't be a lead in his own show, The Green Hornet. He had to be the sidekick because the white guy had to be the major lead back in the 70s. And of course, the TV show Kung Fu, the Chinese guy was played by David Carradine, white guy.
Carradine, yep.
Absolutely. So I think that's why the American ear hears the Asian accent as funny. They're always the secondary comic relief.
Like, you're really good at everything.
Say it again?
You're really good at everything. Because I don't know, when I moved to San Francisco for college, it completely changed my worldview because I think I had only met like one or two Asian people. Like, and ironically, I don't know, like I moved to like the heart of San Francisco in the beginning. And I remember it was the first time I was old enough to vote. I went in and they had two ballots for me that I could use. One was in Cantonese, the other was in Mandarin. And I was like,
this isn't helpful. This isn't helpful.
There wasn't any pictures or anything. So I was like, are you fucking kidding me? But in my first job, I had to walk through Chinatown. So I don't know. I guess I gained a more of a respect for it. So when I hear like Chinese, they're smart and they know how to, anything that you need done, they can get done.
Makes sense.
I cannot stand British accents. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Oh, yeah. I love British accents. Oh my God. Yeah, it's great.
The most dangerous place in the world is the Daly City DMV.
Oh my God.
She knows that joke.
I do. That is a hellhole that I never want to think about ever again.
Lila's gonna get mad at me for that one because that's all the Filipinos live in Daly City. It's an Asian driving joke, okay?
I got it. I picked it up pretty fast. I did.
Yeah.
Like I live in New York City. We have a lot of Asian people in New York City also. In fact, I live in Queens. Queens is the most diverse county in the entire country.
I believe it.
2.1 million people in that county. Not as big as LA. LA is a bigger county.
So Spider-Man's
But yes. But the most diverse one, and we have a place called Flushing here, which now we call Flushing because it is so Asian. Yes. We now call it Flushing. Lots. Andrew Yang, by the way, lives here in Queens. So famous Asian person who ran for president and also mayor of New York City. So something interesting. So I'm seeing there are some people here. I think I've touched the nerve. There are some people in the chat talking about Zelensky and Ukraine. I've touched the nerve. See, my show is decent. It's some boring stuff too, but some politics is cool. There's some. And I go on TV sometimes, so you will see me once in a while on TV talking about stuff. And I was on Joe Rogan once too, talking about politics.
Sweet.
And Glenn Beck. So you will see me once in a while talk about political stuff and not be that boring. I try to not be that boring. I hope I'm not that boring.
No, we need more libertarians in this world. If your damn party could just get its shit together one day.
Well, now you're asking a lot. Now you're asking a lot.
So I've never fully jumped on board, and I stay independent. But
we are
I like a lot of the ideals, a lot.
But I'm trying. I don't know if you know that when I ran for governor of New York, I was actually polling at 6%. I got 100,000 votes, which for New York is a lot.
I'd never live in New York, but
the guy before me, he got 16,000. I got 100,000. So I did good.
There you go.
Still got my ass kicked, but it's relative. That's all. It's relative.
Right.
I did get 100,000 New Yorkers to go, yeah, maybe this libertarian stuff's not bad. So I got something.
Yeah, you got Dave Smith out there.
He's in
Waving
Jersey.
flag.
He left us.
For Jersey?
Yes, he was in Brooklyn. He was in New York, and they went to Jersey, and I'm still mad at him for it.
Yeah.
He needs to stay with us. But he went to Jersey. So, yeah, we lost him to Jersey. But, yes, you're right. This area, and Spike Cohen's killing it, but he's out of South Carolina.
Someday, maybe. Someday.
We have Justin Amash, who doesn't do anything. He was our most popular guy out of Michigan. He was actually a congressman. We actually had a Libertarian congressman for about a year. He turned and became Libertarian. Then he left the Congress and never came back. He's not very active right now.
Probably
saw him to get back
saw
in.
what was going on in the swamp and said, fuck this shit.
That's
I'm
exactly
out."
what happened.
Yep.
Yes.
Fuck this shit. I'm out.
He literally just bailed. You're correct.
Oh.
I wish he hadn't. Yes.
Yeah.
We do struggle. But hey, you know what? There's good news though, right? The fact that Cornel West is running, the fact that RFK Jr. is running, the fact that the Forward Party is active, the fact that No Labels is active. I'm not saying you should vote for any of these people, but the fact that they're active does show that America is getting tired of a two-party system. That is a good sign, is what I will say. It's a good sign. It's happening.
Oh yeah, I agree. There's an awakening. It's going to take time, but there was an awakening after COVID and all that effing
100%.
nonsense. Something good had to come out of it because it destroyed generations of our kids, plural, and our workforce. A lot of things that we're gonna be getting out from for decades, just for that 2 years of an absolute controlled overreaction.
If anybody wants to talk about that, I did a show on that last week. I have the receipts. In March of 2020, I literally did I told people what was going to happen and what our policy should have been. That was literally 3.5 years ago. I showed some of that and then expressed what happened now, saying, I did basically, I hadn't told you so show.
Yeah.
That's what I basically did.
And they
Told you so.
absolutely, I mean, this might not be news to a bunch of people, but they absolutely knew it was coming months before.
Yes.
Months, because we had the head of the San Francisco Chamber of Commerce, who was a friend of my wife's, like giving her a heads up weeks before that this one was serious. We've heard pandemic stuff before. And we're like, nothing about a shutdown, but that's the weeks before we heard about a shutdown. And when I first heard, I'm like, bullshit. They're not going to shut everything down. You got to be fucking kidding me. But then it actually happened and we heard about it and they knew about it. And, there's other anecdotal evidence out there, like Bob Iger fucking resigning from Disney right before that goes down. You don't think he had inside info? So yeah, it's God damn it.
The saddest part of the whole thing is how fast we complied.
Yeah.
That was how fast we complied. And in New York City, it was worse because in New York City at 7 p.m., everybody would get outside out the window and clap for the people who were, helping us out and doing stuff. And that's next level Stockholm syndrome. Like you're clapping for your jailers. Thank you for keeping us locked in our homes. That was next level stuff. And New York and then we talk trash. Cuomo's like, well, we're New York strong. I'm like, we're New York punks. What are you talking about? I can't believe we're taking this. Oh, it was terrible. And once that happened, I said, okay, now that's the game. New York City used to be the place that we would tell, everybody go to hell. We would do nothing that you told us to do. Nothing. We're New Yorkers. We do what the hell we want to do. Not anymore. Now we comply. We just comply. It was really embarrassing, I thought, for the city. And I think for the entire state, but a lot of upstate fought back a bit, but the city didn't fight back at all. And then the social damage. You probably saw they're asking now for forgiveness and grace now. Did you hear that?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, I did see that. I didn't see a lot of forgiveness and grace for people who didn't want to comply. So
and my issue is, if they had learned, right? If they had actually learned that the problem wasn't that we should have known better. The problem is we should have never done it at all. We shouldn't have the power to do so. If you tell me we should never have the power, no government should do this, this should never happen. If that was the lesson you learned, I'm all about grace. 100%. I'll forgive you. Yes, but that isn't their lesson. The lesson is Well, we weren't sure. We didn't know any better. Oh, so if you knew better, you would hammer us?
Yeah, you
So
don't
if you
get
knew better,
forgiveness
then
and
you would kill
grace
it? No.
without humility and admitting that you did something wrong. And coming out, and yeah, it's not admitting you did something wrong when you said, we did the best job we could. No, you didn't, you fucking piece of shit. Yeah. And the teachers' unions. Fuck the teachers' unions. And I'm the one thing I'm happy about is that the San Francisco public schools stayed closed, and we found another option for my kid, and that worked out 1,000 times better.
I homeschooled my daughter.
Yeah, we homeschooled, and then we went to a small, private, very cheap religious school. And neither me and my wife practice any religion, but they were happy to have us. They've been nothing but nice, and my kid learned more in his last 2 years. Well, he essentially didn't go for freshman or junior year. He essentially didn't go to school, so we crammed that in his last 2 years, and it worked. It worked, and plus my kid's a little bit on the spectrum, so but he's developed so well in a very small classroom. And again, it's not Catholic; it's it's Protestant church, but really cool. And yeah, sometimes you watch some Bible movies. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
sometimes you read some Bible stuff. Go ahead, not my problem. He's learning. That's all I care about, and he's happy, and he's got friends. So
I say it all the time. Right? That's the one thing we want to see. We want people move forward. Really.
Yep.
Chrissy,
what did I miss?
Oh, COVID
Nothing.
talk. It was fun. Remember COVID? Remember?
Oh my God, COVID.
Oh.
I don't know. I think
And
I
just
want
how
to.
screwed the country is.
how you feeling?
I don't know. I had a moment, but I think I want to talk about the thing that I'm not talking about because I'm just like, I'm weighing the pros and cons, and I'm not gonna I don't know.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I don't have to.
What is Frank?
Chrissy, I don't know how you're doing this right now.
Barely. I don't know.
Do you think talking about it will make you feel better? Like getting it off your chest?
Maybe. I don't know. How could it hurt?
My ears are open.
Larry doesn't know, but Anna and Gary know.
Do you want to tell me afterwards? I don't mind. Up to you.
I could. Let's do a super chat. Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
that's
you,
a
Matthew.
good idea. Matthew's awesome, by the way. Matthew Hammond's a good dude.
He is a good dude. Oh, that's right. Maybe I have to get new jobs. Thank you, Matthew Hammond. Congrats on 100, Chrissy. Gary, Anna, Chrissy, and Larry are great. Can we agree that daylight savings time should be all year round so that we have daylights after 5 p.m. in the winter instead of at 4 a.m. during the summer? Can you get Streamlabs to avoid YouTube's 30% take? Oh, wow.
Yeah, you should do Streamlabs.
Yeah, I should familiarize myself with that.
I can walk you through it if you need it.
Okay. Like as if I'm retarded. That's the kind of instruction I
I'm
need.
retarded.
It walked through for me, so you're not retarded.
I don't know. I don't see how it could hurt.
Well, it has been 3 hours. You can just go, we're done.
Yeah. You can save it for another time.
Just do that. Up to you. But
Are you
just
thinking
go,
about
we're
saving
done.
it right now just because it'll get the weight
Just
off?
because it's been bothering me, and it's like I also don't think it would have an effect on anything. I don't know. Let's do another super chat.
Chrissy's going through a lot, guys. So it's incredible that she's here. We love you. We always got your back.
Thank you. Enoch Maman. Hi, Chrissy. I'm sorry for the fear the Tardo and Dave Filoni's dog troll accounts. What? Those weren't real? We may never know who's running those accounts, but we can be sure that I am. I mean, he is the twisted maniac. Thank you.
We love Enoch Maman.
I could be brief about it. I don't know. What could be the drawback from talking about it?
Is it going to make you feel better to get it off your chest?
It might. I'm gonna have to talk about it at some point. Like I can't,
You
Gary.
can just not give the details on it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, it'll be hard to say this and then go back to super chats, but ugh.
We can take a break from super chat.
I'm so torn because I'm just like, oh, how could this backfire? Hey, E-Rock. Good to see Gary on. Enjoy his channel. What's up, E-Rock? Love you,
I would
E-Rock.
say, not that you asked me.
I did. I am
not that
asking
I'm
you.
telling you what to do. I'd say sleep on it.
Okay.
Sleep on it. Do some super chats. There's always tomorrow.
Okay.
Always another day.
Yeah. It's not fun. It's not like fun
No.
news. Claudio, I think Anna was just traumatized by the movie Snatch, and that's why she hates very thick British accents.
But that was Pikers. That wasn't British. That was like Pikers.
The whole thing is just hell in a movie. Like, I don't know what I hate more, that or The Godfather. I actually think I hate Snatch more than I hate The Godfather. But no, I've always
You like The Godfather and you don't like Thanksgiving. Are you sure you were born in this country? Are you sure you were born in this country? I don't think you were.
Anna's an
alien. Very much so. I was born in this country. What Snatch is British and The Godfather is about Italian Americans.
Italian
It's
Americans.
actually about Italians
Yes.
who
And
moved
I'm
to
talking
America.
about
whatever.
But you don't like Thanksgiving. Like you don't like Thanksgiving. I don't care about
Thanksgiving, I
Snatch.
just like the food.
That's what Thanksgiving's about. Oh my God.
No, it's not. It's about watching the Addams Family too.
I think you
The
went
Addams
to
Family
South
too.
Carolina. I think you went to,
Yeah, you don't
to
remember
San
when she does
Francisco.
the play where she's the Indian? She burns down the Pilgrim Village.
I don't remember that, but now I'll have to watch it.
But I've never liked British accents. Irish and Scottish and Welsh are okay, but British accents, it's like nails on the chalkboard.
Like
The
they
sad
think they're
part is
better
most
than
of
you.
The actors now that are good, most of them are British.
Well, no, it's like when they're in
The actors,
movies,
we don't
they're
have
like-
classic trained actors here anymore.
like American movies with British people in them, it's very different than like if you watch a British movie. Like their slang, their dialogue, that like when they're from London, they have this weird little twang to the end of their voice. I'm like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. Like, have you ever watched the Beatles in the beginning when they all have like
Yes.
this thick
Well, that's
accent?
Liverpool though.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. That's semi-Irish. They're from Liverpool. That's semi-Irish. That's like a.
I
That's
know.
Like the Midlands.
Liverpool and like Manchester. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
Henry Cavill has a very posh British accent, Chad.
You know,
I'm glad you pointed that out.
his two defaults are that he's British and he's got blue eyes. Everything else, pretty good.
That's why I have blue eyes. Shit,
There's so
I'm
many
feeling
different regions
feeling
up
so
there.
much hate right now.
I don't like blue eyes. I've never liked blue. I like dark.
Wow, you don't like recessive
I
genes?
happen to agree. I think dark eyes are much better. I agree.
Dark
Yes,
eyes are much sexier.
yes they are.
Watch James Bond and it's like
Yeah,
Sean
rude.
Connery, dark, dreamy eyes, and then you go to like Roger Moore and it's like okay, and you're
I'm not a
blonde.
Roger Moore fan. Sean Connery.
I
Best
like
one.
Roger Moore's James Bond movies, but he's not as attractive as Sean Connery.
You are way too. You're too old for your age. Like you're like
right. She's an
you're
old
too
soul.
old for your age.
My
Yes.
parents had me when they were like almost 40, and so I only got to watch things that they liked. So
Got it. Okay,
I-
that's why.
That
There we
doesn't
go.
change whatever age you're born. We watch shit I like.
well, yeah, but I mean, I could only watch stuff that my parents would buy because we didn't have cable, and so
Yes,
and
but no one your age talks about classic Star Trek.
There's so much blue eye marginalization going on right now. I can't
Yeah, I
handle
really
this.
don't feel comfortable, and my future son is probably gonna have blue
not
or
feeling
green eyes.
safe right
so
now. Oh my
I don't
God.
really-
you could have green eyes.
Aw. You're okay
just-
with green eyes? No, okay, great. Wow.
Oh, no, my favorite. I like dark. Well, but here's the thing, Chrissy. It's not like it's just not my preference, right? Some people like
Right.
dark hair. Some people like blonde hair. You obviously like your ginger hair. It's everyone's
It's like
preference.
forcing people to be into someone trans, you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
I like green women. Kind of into that.
She-Hulk.
Star Trek did that, except for
Oh,
She-Hulk.
Star Trek did.
Well, in the comic books, totally into her. Yeah.
And Star Trek, by the way, the first televised interracial kiss
That's right.
between Captain Kirk and Uhura.
Yep.
That's correct.
What did you call her?
And there was a
Uhura.
midget in that episode too.
Mhm.
There was. Yes, there was. Absolutely. Absolutely. The story behind Uhura, Nichelle Nichols, who's the actress, was that after the first season, she didn't want to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, I'm just like a symbol. I'm just like a token. I don't want to do it anymore. And the story is MLK called her. Martin Luther King Jr. called her and said, "Don't you dare quit that show.
Yep.
You are a symbol up there for us all. Don't quit." And she
Wait,
was
they
like,
had phones during Martin Luther King time?
they did. They were black ones with little swirly things on them. Yes.
Oh, a rotary.
Yes, they did.
Why
Yes.
it's gotta be black?
He lost his mind when he saw horror was drunk 3PO. So like he had never seen Star Trek, so we were doing a watch party stream, and he's like, "Oh my gosh!" Like he was so into her and the yeoman.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
that's
we
right.
were all into them as kids.
Absolutely.
It's like I really like this show.
All the girls are wearing miniskirts. How can you not like it, right?
What's not to like? Bro show.
It's not to like.
That was
They're all wearing
considered empowering back then.
Oh, the
Now
Harry
it's,
Channel. When I was a kid, I became a Monty Python fan, so I barely even noticed most English accents. They just sound normal to me. I also really loved watching Mr. Bean.
Like 'tis but a scratch.
I was also a Doctor Who fan, so I
Yeah.
also like the Brits.
Ooh.
Love
Yeah.
Doctor Who.
I love all things Brit.
Yes.
They
And
do
in case
sound
you
like they
didn't
think
know,
they're better
the
than
best
us,
doctor
though.
is Tom Baker. In case you
Tom
weren't
Baker
aware
is the best.
of
Yes,
who
he
was the
is.
best doctor, that is the best doctor, Tom Baker. By the way, he's still alive.
Yes, he
Ooh,
is.
still kicking. Claudio, do you think Jason Statham's accent is annoying? And I always thought it made him cooler.
I don't mind his accent in certain things, but I can't watch Snatch. I just Guy Ritchie movies. I'm looking forward to his Henry Cavill one, but you know what it is everyone is like, this is the greatest movie ever. Like Rock and Rollers. I was so hyped up this movie, and I sit down to watch it. I'm like, I can't understand what the fuck they're saying, and they're speaking English. And then everyone's hyping up Snatch. I'm like, it's okay. There's a dog in it. You'll like it. Okay.
You didn't
Pitt's
say
in it.
that.
You'll like it. I'm like, I want to murder Brad Pitt every time he speaks. Oh my God. It drove me crazy. But yeah. No.
He's hot in Interview with the Vampire.
He's also gay.
Really? Like in the movie or just in life?
No, in the movie. It's two dudes that
gay?
adopt a
Was he
girl.
Stat? Oh my God, I have to rewatch it now.
Have you ever read it?
Yeah.
No.
And the
didn't know
new
that,
one
Chrissy?
they do, he's like
No.
blatantly gay in the new one. There's a new
it's
version. He's like
Guys,
super gay.
they adopt a little
I just
girl.
thought they were bros. I just thought they were like buddies. Like fucking.
This was like all into Brad Pitt, and he's like, ooh,
They don't act gay. I mean, Tom Cruise is kind of gay, but like Brad Pitt, like he sort of straightens it out. And like you don't think of vampires as being gay because it's like a very masculine thing.
Vampires are super gay.
But
What are you
they're
talking
sucking
about?
blood, not dicks.
Anne Rice made them super
Of
gay.
course.
So
Yes.
yeah.
Have you ever read any of Anne Rice's books? Chrissy?
No, I did see her house when I was in New Orleans, though.
There's some kinky shit. Like, don't ever read her Sleeping Beauty books. It's like all hardcore BDSM. But
What? Wow. All right, maybe I'll get
Well,
into it.
I feel like
don't like what she did with vampires. I can't stand it. I hate what she did with vampires. Vampires used to be people you would feel bad for. Now they're just like improved humans.
Right.
I don't like when they do that. I like when there's a flaw to them. I like when there's character flaws, like they can't go out during the day or they
Yeah,
actually
they're
life.
cocky.
Now they're
Or they
just
have
I'm
no
just
souls and they're
overhuman
just
now.
dicks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like when what the hell's her name? When she had a dead body and she hid it with its stuffed animals on her bed. 'Cause that's like I used to have so many stuffed animals on my bed when I was little. I'm like, I could have totally done that. I could have totally hit a body because I had so many animals.
That's a really
Kirsten-
strange thought, Chrissy.
Kirsten Dunst, because I had so many animals. Not that I would do that, but I could.
It's like I don't know how that thought gets in your God. I
You
could have
could hide a
totally hit a
body.
body amongst all my
'Cause
stuffed
that's what
animals.
she did. That's what Kirsten Dunst did.
I could have totally hit a body amongst all my comic books. You know, it's just never come
about that
came across my
You had
mind.
enough.
if you
to do it.
needed to, Chrissy, you could have done it.
Yeah.
Because she was like, I'll never be a
Such a
grown
missed
woman."
opportunity.
Yeah. She's like, I'll never have boobs. That was me at 14. I would just
know what's
stand in
weird?
front of
It's
him here and like,
If she would have just waited a couple centuries, she could have gotten like a boob job and like all the surgeries, right? She could have had it.
but
she
she
could
would
have
have
had a
looked
great job
like
working
a kid. Oh God, yeah. She would have looked like a kid in the face. Yikes. Yeah, that would be a big yikes. But I didn't know that the vampires are all gay and kinky.
Yes.
Did you not see the way Antonio Banderas was looking at Brad Pitt?
I just thought that was a vampire thing. I just thought it was
Bros
just
don't
like,
look at each other.
It
like
is.
that,
It's a gay vampire thing.
blood,
Yes.
you know,
There
like,
was like so many.
horny for blood.
But you notice how they're always like killing chicks and they're never banging them because they're banging each other.
They're not rapists. They want the blood. Why would they
like
have
the Greeks.
They were killing her whores.
Just murderers, not rapists, just murderers.
Yeah, that's a little better.
But those women were there to fuck them. Instead, they got their blood drank and got killed.
Some women just have sex with guys for the money. I don't know.
Did we just like break your mind on this
A little
movie?
bit.
We messed
little
her up. We messed her up.
Go watch it again. You'll see.
I have there's a paradigm shift going on. Yeah.
Can we talk about the kiss that's supposed to be with Spock?
With who? Sorry.
There's a super chat.
Oh.
The kiss was supposed to be with Spock.
Oh, where? Do you know who said it?
I want to bring this up because most people don't know this. The interracial kiss, he's correct, was supposed to be with Spock, which is why when they made the movie, Spock and Uhura were a thing. When they rebooted the movies, Spock and Uhura were a thing.
Jar Jar Abrams, I don't count those. Those are not in my reality at all.
I know.
I'm just saying that's why they did it.
Maybe if she wasn't
correct.
kissing so many people, they wouldn't call her a Hura.
It wasn't her fault. She was like, so Chrissy, they meet these aliens that basically can control them with their mind. So they use them as puppets. And so they force them to kiss.
Wow.
It's like either slave people.
And that made it okay because they were forced to kiss.
Yep.
So in 1967, that was okay to do because there were aliens forcing them to kiss. So it was okay.
Well, it's just kissing. I mean, I've kissed so many people I didn't want to.
Yeah, but back
make
in
it
like
okay.
1960, what was 67 when that one came out?
Yeah.
Way back in 67.
That was a big deal. That was a big deal.
A million years ago.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you, Benham. Okay, I could definitely do a super chat catch up.
You got a hundo one.
What?
You got a red one.
I did. Did I miss that? When, where? I thought I did them all.
I think it came in when you went to the restroom.
What?
Oh no, you read it. Sorry. It's still up on my screen.
Oh, okay. Okay. If you want a creepy vampire, just look up the Strigoi, the Romanian myth that inspired the creation of modern day vampires. Creepy stuff. Strigoi sounds Italian.
It's not Strigoi, it's Strigoi.
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 Oh, that sounds cool. All right, I'll check into that. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel Clancy. Happy 100, Chrissy. Big love from across the world in Sydney. I forget you live in Australia sometimes. Thanks, Daniel.
They have koalas with chlamydia.
What?
That's why they're so angry.
All of the koalas in Australia have chlamydia. It's so sad.
I don't even want to ask how that happened.
It gets
Koalas obviously are promiscuous.
How do old people get chlamydia?
Only 3 hours a day. So the 1 hour a day they're out fucking around and getting chlamydia?
No, it's transmitted through their feces. So
Well, stop eating shit, dumb bear.
it gets on the trees because they're just shitting in the trees. And when you climb down the tree and then it gets on your hand. Yeah. So the only ones that don't have chlamydia are the ones that are in zoos. But so yeah, it's the most random fact to know.
Yes, it is. That's funny. Okay. Anna, where can people find you and what is coming up for you this week?
Today's Sunday?
Day, technically.
It's Monday.
It's
Well, no,
Sunday for me
It's
still.
Sunday for you still.
All right.
I don't know. I'm completely blanking. I know that I have stuff going on, but I cannot think about it off the top of my head. Jack show this week is on my channel. Go back, Cecil's Cash Grab while you still can. It's up on Indiegogo, and yeah, I feel like I'm gonna remember everything after we go off air. But
for how much longer is Cecil's thing going to be available?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll get on it, people. Larry Sharpe.
Yes.
What's coming up for you?
Election day is Tuesday. Go vote, even though it's
It
local. Do not
is.
forget, election day is Tuesday. You should vote, even though in most cases it does not matter at all. But at least it will make you feel good that you did something. So please go vote. It's a good idea. I will be on my radio show every Tuesday, 1:05 p.m. Tuesday. I do a radio show out of Rochester, New York, called Sharpe Radio. I talk about New York's issues because I live in New York. So about New York issues. I will also have a show talking about the college kids and all their freedom of speech issues all of a sudden on college with a lawyer named Venu Varghese, 9 p.m., a special late night show, 9 p.m. on Tuesday. And I'll be doing the Sharpe Crew, which is me and a conservative and a progressive. They yell at each other, and I am the referee. I do that every Thursday at noon. You can see all of this. Sharpe, Larry Sharpe, YouTube. Larry Sharpe, Twitter. Larry Sharpe, Facebook. Larry Sharpe, anything, basically. I'm on all the things. Please enjoy.
Larry's the best. Good, level-headed, smart dude. I always loved your idea about the bridges. I'll never forget it.
Absolutely.
Bridges?
The Verizon bridge. So corporations should pay for bridges. Like they could have their name on the bridge. That way they're not taking money from taxpayers. Right?
We should lease naming rights to bridges. Like we lease naming rights out to stadiums.
Which
Lease
should
them out
not
to
be
bridges.
built with public funds ever.
That's correct. No public funds and no tolls. And we do that, and all of a sudden now you raise money to pay for MTA and other systems like that. They'll easily drop in larger cities. They'll drop $100 million a year for large cities. They drop $20 million for a stadium that's used only once a week on Sundays. That's it, right? So for a bridge that's used all the time, a bridge that's going to be on Google Maps, a bridge that's going to be talked about on radio during the traffic, all that kind of stuff, it'll be there. And people always tell me, but Larry, I don't want Pepsi on my bridge. I don't want advertised. There's ads everywhere. Shut up. Stop complaining. Right now in New York City.
Who has the most legit bridge? Because, they'd put all the money into it. Kind of like.
Absolutely. Yes, they would. The bridge is not going to fall down.
Have you ever heard of the Bridge to Nowhere?
It's in Alaska.
No, it's here in California. I'm sure there's one in Alaska too.
Yes,
But so they were going to build. So I don't know if you've ever been to California, but Southern California and Northern are cut off by these mountains called the Grapevine. But off to the side, they were going to build a freeway through the mountains to make like another way to go. They built the bridge first, and they never built the freeway. So there's this random bridge in the middle of the mountains in the forest with nothing else there.
And imagine if some company had actually decided to do that, they would have made sure a road was built.
If a private company would have done it, it would have gotten fixed. We also have a $40 billion high-speed train that's never going to be a high-speed train.
They've only built it in Fresno. It's so frustrating.
And they started in fucking Fresno.
Can it at least be a slow train?
It will be a slow train. Yes, it will not be a high-speed train. It'll be a regular train that we paid $40 billion.
No, it was supposed to be where it goes from San Francisco to LA.
It was supposed to be a high-speed train between San Francisco and LA. How that hasn't happened yet. Well,
it's weird because they bought all the land. They just haven't built it. Yeah, they finished buying up all the land.
They did.
So they own
They're never going to build it. They're never going to build it. There was an overpass that got burned down in Oakland. I was there. And the state went the usual route, and they were the bid was, it'll be done in a year. And the state one time, and this was because Arnold was governor, decided to do a private, have the private company do it. Had that shit done in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. A whole fucking freeway off-ramp was done in 2 weeks. So, the state's a little incompetent. There you go.
One guy teases, he says, the OnlyFans bridge.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, when I was on Rogan, I did Rogan. Rogan said, "You porn bridge." And I was like,
wow. Imagine how
they
great
got
the
the money,
lighting,
okay.
the lighting would be so good.
It would be good lighting, yes.
The pillars for it would be like naked statues, which
Penis
are
shape.
all over Europe, all over the Vatican. So if anyone wants to complain about it, it's like, well, then go anywhere and you'll see naked statues. So the naked OnlyFans bridge with like the pillars or people, that'd be so funny.
Yeah, there was a lot of titties in the Louvre. It was very entertaining.
Titties
Sorry.
in the Louvre.
Not
That
sorry.
one's back.
Titties in the Louvre. That's right. Screw the Mona Lisa. I was looking at all the titties.
It was too small. The Mona Lisa is really underwhelming.
It's small. There's some amazing pieces that are giant, absolute, like 2 stories high that you'd rather look at.
It's the technical aspect of it that's fascinating.
It's cool. Yeah, it was. It was I have a picture. I'll show you someday, Anna. I have a picture of 100 fucking cell phones in front of me, in front of a tiny Mona Lisa, which tells the story. That's
anyone that has any interest in seeing art, go and see Da Vinci's Last Supper before it completely disintegrates, because that was an experiment he did with fresco and oils. You have to book it probably years in advance. You have to go into a room because oxygen is what's destroying it. There's what you stand behind a big thing of glass.
I knew they had Fresca back then.
I don't know what Fresca is, but Fresco
it's like
is
Sprite. It's a little orangey.
It's like dyed. It's plaster with coloring. But so the Last Supper is disintegrating. It probably won't last another couple decades. So go and see that while you can. It's in Milan.
There you go.
That's cool. Wow, urgency. Okay. Gary, what's coming up for you?
I'm gonna go to bed. I feel like crap. Square up tomorrow. Friday Night Tyson next Friday. I think we have Mahler. It's kind of a big day. It's our big Marvel special. We've been waiting for this to come out all year.
It's coming out Thursday, right?
Yeah, it's coming out Thursday. Nobody's gonna it's gonna be such a fart in the wind. Nobody's even gonna care. It's gonna flop, and it'll probably be as bad as Captain Marvel was. Might not be the worst thing they've ever done. Won't matter because nobody cares.
Yeah,
fun times.
True.
Love entertainment right now.
The preview looked horrific with there's somebody named oh my god. There's like a main character named Kamala, and it's like, ugh. It's just she's like a whiny teenager. I was like, oh, this is not empowering. This is not exciting.
She's an insert from Sana Amanat. It's fanfic.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's the real thanks, chat. There's the real BBC. Eric July has Alpha Core coming out in a few hours. Chuck Dixon wrote that. So if you're interested in that. What's up, Epic Mike? How's it going? So yeah, check that out. The Rippaverse got a big thing coming out, and tomorrow I'm just gonna be sick.
Matthew Hammond wants to know Larry needs to have Lewis Rossman on his show.
Lewis Rossman.
If he hasn't already. He has
He's a friend of mine. I've been on his show twice. He's been on my show once. He moved out of New York City finally. He's a New York City guy. Who spent a lot of time trying to fix New York City, talk about New York City, how bad it was. He got tired. He packed up and left. And I feel terrible. But he's a great guy. He's libertarian. I like him a lot. Yep.
Okay, sweet. Okay, I read the daylight savings one. Thank you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna do a super chat catch up tomorrow. And come see me in Tampa December 3rd, and San Diego January 5th and 6th. Tickets on my website, ChrissieMayr.com. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate anybody who has watched or clipped or liked or subscribed. If you're not subscribed, oh my God, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe on YouTube, because I want to hit it. I want to hit 100K before I die. So, but thank you guys for watching.
100K before he has the baby, everyone.
Oh yeah, that's a goal. Okay.
Baby needs a plaque.
Yeah.
Needs a plaque. I'll put it in the crib. Thank you guys for watching. This was eventful, and thank the three of you for staying so long. And we'll see you guys next time. I'm working on a couple of interviews, so I'll update my schedule when I can. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Ciao.